Looks like everything's set up, ready to go. Perfect, perfect. Fill in here from when I was doing the energy shield evasion version. We're gonna update this pretty good. Really looking forward to seeing how this comes together. I think it's gonna be massive. I think it's gonna be ridiculously massive. So I gotta see, did I give myself any ideas? Yes, that's right. I needed lightning exposure of all things. Useless 99% of the time, but on this particular instance, I think it's gonna be great. Howdy everybody, welcome to the chat. Random Fight Fan here. Apparently, I've been told that my name, people don't know how to pronounce it. But it's Random Fight Fan. Howdy, Caleb. You switched to the bonk yesterday, and even with mid gear, you've been laying waste. Yeah, it's a really good build, and this one here is a pretty cool update. It's a little bit expensive for sure. It's about a fifth the cost of an Astromentus, but with how expensive Astromentus are, it's definitely worth it to go this way instead of just buying Astra first. I mean, well, Caleb, what were you doing before? If you don't mind me asking. Lightning exposure. How do you do, Guy B? Thanks for popping by again. It's not too late for you, right? You were saying it was like, I guess it'd be like 7 or 8 a.m. now your time, if I'm remembering right. Or I might be thinking of somebody else who said it was crazy early, but I thought that was you, Guy B. Oh yeah, Ice Strike is really fun. It freezes everything, and it carried me through campaign before I found this. But going straight Ice Strike definitely felt like I was missing something by the end game. There. 3:40 a.m. Oof. Well, thank you for coming by, Dan. I'm sorry for keeping you up so late. I had a night like that last night. I was editing till 5 in the morning when I realized, oh crap, it's 5 in the morning and I went to sleep. So, hooray for narcolepsy, I guess. Or not narcolepsy, insomnia.
Energizing.
That out. Take this out. I like the dual charge tech, so I'm putting that back in. Is well, oh, what's this? Difference been okay, rings and amulet, and any and good ones is 20x to 20 div. Oh yeah, insane gap, insane gap. This one here I spent 10 div on, and I think it's ridiculously good, and I'm very happy with it. But then for my, oh, I don't remember where I put it. I bought these other stash tabs last night because I was sick and tired of not having enough dump tabs. Now I have some more dump tabs. But yeah, I have no idea what I did with it. I had a really low-end amulet that I had sitting in here for 10 exalt for the longest time. Nobody touched it. And so then I was like, is this good or should I buy one? So then I bought one for literally 1 exalt. And it was triple attributes plus energy shield, not slammed on, just kind of low rolls. And after I qualityed them, they're all like above 30. It was crazy good. Yeah, you can get some really good discount stuff for this build. People just they undervalue stuff that isn't perfect. Eastern time zone yesterday, you were working, so you missed the streaming. Oh, that's rough. You were here for a little bit, but I appreciate you coming by. I'm going to be streaming today and tomorrow for sure, because, yeah, it is 1:45 my time right now. I would have started earlier, but like I said, 5 a.m. was kind of rough, and I wanted this to start off smooth. Last time it had some Nightbot issues. Yeah, the giant sword is rough. I am not enjoying that when I go through, but if I just put them in here, it's not too bad. Don't think I'll need to change anything for my Tempest Flurry. However, there's a chance I'm going to be getting mental toughness to save on even more mana cost, so I might be able to use an up-level Tempest Flurry. I'm not too sure yet. We're going to figure that one out. Actually, I'm pretty sure I will. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I will. Stick this here and get inspiration. Right now, let's put these in there. Sacrifice definitely needs a slot in. Saying I'm short. Alright, I swap it for Grim Feast. Skeletal Cleric's Combat Frenzy, Charge Infusion. Oh, this is the last thing I need. Central Time, let's go indeed, yeah. I'm even in a very special Central Time because Saskatchewan, we don't have daylight savings time. Howdy do, Janumori. Thanks for the wave. Can you please tell me what's more important? 3 sockets with critical damage jewels on staff and 10... it's 12 strength every time. It's too much scaling. This is way better. It's not even close. Like, it's way better. I think that's everything I need. Put in the profane. Oh, did I hit? Oh, I hit Windows key instead of weapon swap. That's funny. I finally put in the weapon swap tech so that when I do my energy shield, it's like literally a second. Oh, it's going really good. Had a great sleep last night. I feel great. The dogs are happy. I fed them, played with them a little bit. Even the cat's happy. Don't know where he is, but he was pretty happy this morning. Gave him a lot of food. And he is in good shape now. Howdy do, Lena? Oh, it's going. How is it going for you? Okay, so at the end of the stream last night, I corrupted this chess piece, and it was nerve-wracking. I can't do that with this one. I can't do that. I need to keep this one alive. And with this one only giving me thorns. Oof. Here, 19k evasion rating, 88% evasion. After learning acrobatics, it's 63%. That one's a little bit tough, Blue Jean. That one's definitely tough. I definitely want to keep it above 70, if you could. You're taking care. Very nice, Lena. Oh, man. Anyone or anything would be happy with food. Oh, man. Food is the best. I am a huge foodie. I've shared some very interesting food pictures on my Discord because the girlfriend's a chef and I'm a foodie. We cook all the time. It's a really... oh, man. Food is life. 100%. Yeah, I think I got the setup right here. So I just put this here, take all that out. Overabundance if I'm going to do simulacrums. Because I don't have any way to charge Rising Tempest, I put in Minion Pact for the bell. Yeah, this works. I think this is it. Well, thank you again for stopping by. Oh, man. So, I don't know nearly enough about German food. Everybody knows the generic black bread, sausages, and basically why can't I think the word? The cabbage dishes, but that is basically all I know is the generic media spoken talk about German cuisine. What's some good stuff about German cuisine? I need to know more because legitimately, it's my knowledge on it is about as thorough as English cuisine, and that's like toast sandwich or a bread sandwich. These guys back. I'm going to put that in and see if it works. I think it will. I really do think it will. I think it'll be fine. Martial tempo, rage for sure, overcharge for most tech, inspiration for sure, and lightning exposure is important for this one idea that I have. Now, primal armament can come in and be better than close combat. Do I just want the damage? The minions ignited? Yes, they are. Yeah, the minions are ignited with Infernal Legion. I don't need them to be ignited because I have fire damage on a ring. But it does have another purpose. So when they're round in simulacrums, they ignite things before the bell can hit them, and it gives you that 30% fire damage, which is crazy nice. And if you don't have fire damage on ring, then you can use ignited minions to ignite enemies and bosses so that when you're dropping your nuke button, it takes them out in a big hurry. It also ignites the bell, I'm pretty sure. Well, these changes are going to be different than the ones last night. Last night we got this very special tech here that we're going to keep using, but we came through to get the evasion version of the tree with like escape velocity, trying to get bestial skin. We got all these nodes for spectral ward, stuff like that, but we're going to change it up a little bit. Oh, you're welcome, Raul. You're very welcome. Yeah, I found that one out and I thought this would help quite a few people out, so I just slotted it in, but uh, I needed to get the message out a little bit better, I guess. Alrighty, so before I do all of this, let's slot that in right. Yeah, so I got inspiration on there, and I got this looking like a Christmas tree, which I like. I'm going to do the same thing here. Make it look like a Christmas tree. Boom. Very Christmassy. Oh, that's satisfying to see. Boom. Hmm. That brought the mana cost down massively by taking out close combat. That's... yeah, that's a lot. You're cooking mostly Italian and Asian? Oh, yeah. Pasta dishes and... like, there's so much good Asian food. Like, holy crap, there's so much good Asian food. Like, shomai? Oh, man. You can eat shomai almost every day. I love that. That's Philippine Asian. It's very similar to just... Uh, it's kind of like a wonton, but instead of eating it in a soup, you dip it into a sauce and you eat it straight. The bottom left of the passive tree? Yeah, I got a from nothing that gives iron reflexes, which is this guy right here, and allows me to save 17 points down here. But if you just have the from nothing, you lose Jack of all trades, and it's, yeah, it's a lot of lots damage. So then we also get a Megalomaniac with Jack of all trades. I also got this one. It's ridiculous because it comes with Vulgar Methods, which is another 35% crit chance and 10 strength. I got very lucky finding this. I bought it for 25 div, and about 10 minutes after I bought this one, a 2 slot one became available, just Jack of all trades and vulgar methods, and they wanted 80. So I got very lucky finding this. And yeah, I spent a lot of time on the trade site trying to get good Megalomaniacs. I bought quite a few, and this was the best one for by a lot. Ooh, Hungarian dishes. Oh man, Hungarian sausages are amazing. I got a friend who's Hungarian, and like I thought I knew what a good sausage tastes like because I grew up around Ukrainians, but those Hungarian sausages were nuts. Like they blew me away. Flavors I didn't know that existed. You are more on the energy side, energy shield side, renounced evasion and went full ES. About 16k with meditate. Well, we're gonna be getting there today. Are they expensive? The Megalomania. Oh wow, 33 divine. Yes, please. That's one of the ones that I saw there. What is this? Sent you a party invite? Yeah, sure. Come on over. Uh, let's see if I'm making a big sale. Heroes Pista. There we go. Guess I'm getting 28 divine for it. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. I'm just needing to offload these so I can eventually uh, buy a Astra Mentis. I'm really trying to get an Astra. There we go. 28 divs. I got 3 more that I bought looking for the perfect one, and then that is it. Then they're gone. But look, oh, it made me a bunch finding really good ones. You're very connected to Ukrainian. Cook some of their food with your Ukrainian friends. It is very good. Oh man. Uh, the joke we had growing up as capture rolls and coffee. Good. Whenever we went to go visit someone, it's like, hey, do you want to go see this person? Capture rolls and coffee. Good. And we just, yeah, Ukrainian culture is basically a you show up and then there is food, and it is a beautiful culture. Oh, at least in small town Ukrainian culture. I don't know what it's actually like in Ukraine, other than the really bad news that's going on, but uh, in small town Canadian Ukrainian culture, that's what it's like. You can't get Iron Reflexes. Zealot's Oath can help me, or just losing DPS there. I saw your comment earlier, but I wasn't able to look yet. Which one is Zealot's Oath? Wait, is this one Zealot's Oath? No, that's Dance with Death. Which one's Zealot's Oath? Where are you able to farm those? You get the Megalomaniacs from max level Simulacrums, and you get from nothing diamonds. I believe this one is from Ritual. I am super close. Yeah, I'm guessing. Are you Canadian too? Prairie Province. Nice to see you live for once. I'm somehow stuck on 45k damage. Follow quite similar build. 4.5k energy shield. What would you focus on? You are definitely missing base numbers for your energy shield. That will do a lot for you. And you need as much attributes as possible. If you don't have the gloves and the weapon, you don't need the 1 to 12 lightning damage. Just get a base version of this. It's like 1 or 2 divs. But get the staff with 12% weapon damage and 2 sockets. That's extremely important. That will help you out a lot for your damage. And then, yeah, just make sure you get the really good attributes everywhere you can on the rings and amulet for sure. Use your gear to get really high energy shield and resistances. If you can get attributes on there, great. If you have the belt, that boosts your damage a lot. Like 90,000 on Bell versus 63,000, it's like a third more damage because my rings are so good. And my belt's 74% with 15 deck, so it could even be better. You have the gloves plus weapon, then you are definitely starting off well. Yeah, but definitely focus on getting your base numbers up. Something like the Verana Jewel will give you a lot of energy shield. Like it brings me 5,300 to 9,000 with what I'm currently wearing. It is a lot because it scales with your strength. But it's also ridiculously expensive now. Ridiculously expensive. Yeah, that's gonna go up a lot. I haven't even made the swap yet. That's gonna go up a lot, Addy. Top left side. Top left side is Zealot's Oath. Ancestral Bond. Why is it's highlighting? There it is. Okay. Uh, I mean, there's not really anything here that's super amazing for you. I feel like your best chance is to sell this one and try and get some coin for it to afford the iron reflexes. The best one is resonance if you can mix it with an against the darkness, but the resonance one is like 200 divines. It's stupid, it's ridiculous. I bought the one for iron reflexes a week ago for 20, but I think they're at like 33, 34 right now. Oh, well, thank you, Addy. I appreciate that. That's really nice to say. 10 o'clock, Gaiby. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Training culture is exactly like that. Very high hospitality. They give gifts almost every time they meet each other. Oh, that is beautiful. That's a great culture. I love that a lot. That is a level of friendliness I aspire to. Alright, so we're... No, I need to lose this. That's right. I need to lose this and it makes me sad. I'm losing a big chunk of energy shield from that 40% to do... No. To do this and save a passive point. And I think it's worth it. Going like that. Dropping all of these nodes here. Adding to this naturally. That here. Put this here. And now here's the big improvement that I wasn't able to afford to do on the evasion version. And you get Wildstorm. That is such a ridiculous damage increase that, like, it's just wow numbers of damage. Then we get Exposed to the Storm. You don't care about the Penetrate Lightning resistance, but what you do care is 30% increased critical hit chance. That is so much. So much critical hit chance. It's better than getting Critical Exploit, and Critical Exploit is massive for the build. And then I also get Serrated Edges. 30% increased attack damage and 10% more crit chance. Now I got an extra skill point here. I'm thinking I'm going to go with Mental Toughness for right now, just to see what it's like. So, my attack speed without the Frenzy charges. I do have the dual charge tech, but you know, it's going pretty good like that. My cost 28 mana per swing, and now 24 mana per swing. It's definitely better. It's definitely better. Thing is, though, I don't know if I even need it. Do I need that reduced mana cost? I'm already lasting pretty good. I can hit a mana flask every once in a while if I'm going this often. And if I'm in maps, I'll be hitting things for sure. And if I'm hitting things, I'm getting mana back. Jacobino. What a great name. Okay, so you tried this build minus the run of Joel work well apart from getting stun locked and killed, so had to change to different build. Any pointers to prevent the only issue I had? When you do get decent energy shield, you can get jewels like this with maximum energy shield as additional stun threshold. That helps a lot, but you do need a decent energy shield for it to work. Alternatively, you could go with the split evasion. When you put the evasion in there, it kind of acts like stun threshold because you're able to actually recover in time. What I do for pure energy shield is I have these three clerics, and they kind of act like a pseudo evasion. They take aggro away, and they revive each other. So it's actually really nice. I've gotten very used to running with the skeletal clerics because when I have sacrifice on, I also use them for power charges. Well, I guess I gotta take off resonance. There we go. I got an extra point to work with. Nice. So, you get them with power charges and you rock that way. So like right here, boom, I just got 5 power charges in one cast, and now I'm ready to go. I can cast again, and then I'm ready to do whatever I want. It's really, really, really nice. If you do something silly like take off your minions on weapon swap too, say you take them all out, you swap back, they come back right away if you need them. It's a nice way to get it back with circumventing the cooldown time. You got the points that make stun threshold base on ES, and I don't get stunned anymore. Yeah. Yeah. The asceticism and self-mortification, they're pretty dang good. I just don't like having to path down there. I think the skill points are better used getting more energy shield to kind of act towards it if you can get it on your jewels. But it's kind of difficult to get everything set up properly that way. You need to really min-max your gear. Alright, so with this, okay, good, I'm still getting that. I'm only losing this one dex node. What's my dex at? 389? Okay, so I can swap some of this to strength. And do I have an int node somewhere that I can take off? I'd like to take off one int node because I'm a little too high. Yeah, I got some int nodes here, perfect.
Go on.
So now this will swap to strength. 540, perfect. Now this will swap to strength as well. And so will this one. And that is beautiful looking. It's a shame I don't have one more strength. If I had a better belt, obviously the all attributes and the strength there would bring it up. I hate seeing it's 1 point away from another break point, but they're every 5, so it's not a big deal. The big deal is getting 375 dex and a multiple of 10 on int. That adds quite a bit. And oh, so this is my base attack speed right now, and when it goes up with a frenzy charge, it will be up even more. I'm currently attacking 8.85 attacks a second. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice indeed. How will I go about this right now? If I drop mental toughness, obviously it'll cost a little more mana, but then I can put it towards defensives because if I get here, that's going to be like another 500 energy shield. Yeah, no kidding. Dying on weird stuns sucks. Alright, sorry, I got a bunch of messages I gotta go through here. When I meditate, it doesn't double your shield, it just stays the same. What are you missing? I don't know what you're missing. Are you saying that it doesn't double it on top of Grim Feast? Because, like, if you swap to meditate, it should double it that fast, that easy. Like, I got 18,700 now with swapping. 16,700 when I swap back, because on my weapon swap it has more Energy shield. I do want to have more energy shield, so I'm going to take off mental toughness. Oh, that's where my 2 points are missing. Right here. Boom, boom, 40%. Now I'm at 9,000. Okay, that's a lot more energy shield. Boom. That's a lot more energy shield. I was wondering what was missing. We got it. Over 9,000! Beautiful. Uh, do you know what it's called? I don't know. My build, BK Sharpish. I don't know what you're asking there. But yeah, I hope that helped you, Addy. Uh, it really should. Oh, are you holding meditate? Because you have to hold it. If you just tap it, it won't do anything. That's probably the thing. Do I have flurry level 20? No, it's level 19. Yeah, I don't have enough level 20 jewels dropping. And this is 450,000 with literally nothing upping the damage in there. If I wanted, if you want to see funny damage numbers here, let's put some funny damage numbers in there for you guys to look at. Things that do not matter at all. What's another thing that will up damage numbers? Okay, well, I gotta have something in here. Okay, so Martial Temple, Concentrate Effect, Primal Armament. You know what? Let's just do this. More damage for the gems. We've already got Primal Armament in there. Rage Forge won't show. 40% more damage and 25% more damage. Although that 40% definitely won't work ever. Doesn't do a damn thing. We'll just drop it. Not be too much of a meme. Alright, so there we go. 979,000 DPS on Tempest Flurry, unbuffed. Just sitting there in hideout. I'm just going to quickly go and give myself some power charges, and now I'm at over 1,000,000. I give my staff a charge, and now I'm at like 1.28 million. Yeah, charge infusion going off, 1.28 million. It's pretty good. I like that. It's good damage numbers. That's what you can get in hideout, but those numbers don't mean squat. They mean literally nothing. Do not worry about what it says on Tempest Flurry. Make sure your damage numbers on your bell are what actually matters. Now, what did I do with all my other stuff? Rage. I had this looking like a Christmas tree before. I gotta make it look like a Christmas tree again. Overcharge and lightning exposure. So lightning exposure is literally useless for everything except for the fact that because I have my controlled metamorphosis here at mid-large, someone was asking, is it large or mid-large? This is mid-large. You're able to get this node here, which is 30% increased critical hit chance against enemies with lightning exposure. And how lightning exposure works on this one is whenever you shock an enemy, it inflicts lightning exposure. And I'm doing so much lightning damage right here, it shocks every single hit. So that means as long as I hit something with Tempest Flurry, I get 30% increased critical hit chance against them. And that's ridiculously huge. Ridiculously huge. Min-maxing is expensive, especially on this kind of build. Sacrifice a bit of damage, but I'm 310k Tempest Flurry and still doing okay. Yeah, you're still going to be doing amazing. Yeah, I have a tendency to like big numbers. Big numbers make heart rate go up, make face happy. So I keep min-maxing just for the sake of why not? Why not make it a little bit better? Why kill the boss in 3 seconds when you can do it in 2 kind of thing? Definitely not necessary whatsoever. You have the right idea there, GRL. And I kind of wish I could just sit back and not worry about getting the numbers too high, but every time I look at it, I want to put another bigger number on. So I'm going to switch these two to strength because I've already hit the breakpoints that I want to hit. And if GGG fixed the bug where the circular ring taking away attributes actually does get fixed, then we're going to be in good shape. It will give us even more strength. It'll bring us up to about 500 strength, which is more energy shield, more damage. Large should still work here. Let me just quickly check that. I'm not too sure if it'll work. Yeah, the Heroic Jewel, the Heroic Tragedy Timeless Jewel is ridiculously expensive to get. I was talking about it back when it was a little bit cheaper, but obviously things have since changed. And yeah, it's unfortunate. So we're going to come here, controlled metamorphosis, double click on it, and we're going to edit it to be just a large ring. Save and save. And now when we come back into the tree, it's been edited to a large. Okay, so if it's large, it doesn't quite fit here as well. Luckily, these are pretty cheap. You still get Wildstorm with large, and you can get Immoral Infamy, which will give you some int and a little bit of recharge rate on your energy shield, but that's not too big of a deal. The 10 int is nice, but you lose out on being able to get serrated edges, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you won't be able to get serrated edges with the mid-large, unfortunately. Or with the large, you need the mid-large. You'd be able to get Manifold Method, but you don't really care about that. You could get Flurry and Way of the Wind, but those are not nearly as big of a deal as getting 10% increased critical hit chance and 30% increased critical hit chance. So mid-large is required for this one. Sorry, Gaiby. What's the number on my bell? Good question. That one is a very good question. Just 1 second. I'm going to fix this in here before I forget. Medium large, save. Tree. That did not save, did it? Because I have to hit it here too. So I come like, that's not right. Going like that. Okay, now for my bell. I'm at no power charges or anything. 104,000 damage on the bell using, and things like Minion Pact is not popping up, Potential's not popping up, Immolate's not popping up, only Concentrated Effect and Primal Armament. And I just very recently put Primal Armament on because I put Lightning Exposure on. I still have all the good support, so Lightning Exposure and Overcharge will massively increase the damage. Howdy do, Bapest? I'm doing really good. Could you show me your bell skills? Big numbers get the ladies? Yes. I tell my girlfriend that all the time, and then she laughs at me. Any good spots for a massive ring jewel? I don't know. I haven't really looked into massive ring. I'm pretty sure that the sorceresses use it, though. I just know that the mid-large does wonders for this right now. And it's super cheap, whereas the massive one, I had one drop and I sold it for 18 divine in seconds. So they definitely sell. Somebody's definitely using it. You'll get one, Gaiby? Yeah, they're definitely not expensive, so I hope you're able to get one on the cheap. Written build of this setup. I have one. If you type !build, it's my kind of sort of thought process of what to put in. It's not fully finished, not even close, so I'm only posting it in this chat here if you want to look it up. I have the evasion one on the Discord right now, but I will be posting a video about that later tonight or early tomorrow morning. And then this version of the build will be posted either the next day or the day after that. It took me quite a bit of time to get the video processed and recorded, so as long as everything is ready to go. I will be posting it as soon as I can and having it available for you guys. I'm wanting to get this out on the weekend. That's why I got the Evasion one done first. It's what people wanted to see. And this version will be coming out shortly as well. I want you guys to be able to actually play with this while you have the time off. Hi, Susan Sushi. What a great name. Post the V5. I don't know what the V5 is. What, you somehow didn't hear what level the flurry was? It's level 19 right now. I'm trying to use level 19. I think it will work out fine. Otherwise, I will swap it back out for a level, I think I have a level 6 one. As long as you're able to maintain mana cost, that's all that matters. And since I'm not using Elemental Invocation right now, I don't think it's 100% necessary. One thing of note is because I don't have Avatar in place, I took Rising Tempest out temporarily. If I put Avatar in place ever, then I'd put Rising Tempest back in. But I have Meditate in, so if I were to do something like Simulacrums, I don't need to take out Sacrifice. I just run this. Oh, actually, no, I'd have Meditate in because I take out Herald Device for Simulacrums. Never mind. What's the reason for Immolate fire damage under the bell? It's a big damage increase. It's a little bit less damage than close combat, and I took out close combat just because of the mana cost, but if I were to put close combat in, it massively increases the mana cost, but if you're able to support it, it is more damage. There's one other reason, though, that I left Immolate in, and it's because I can go blue, red, blue, red, blue, and it looks prettier. So if you're wondering my logic, it looks prettier. Just like how this is red, green, red, green, red, and this is green, red, green, red, green. So much passion on the build, bro. Keep it up. Oh, thank you so much, Raymart. Oh, man, I love this build. It's so good. And Bethesda, you're 100% right. A horse is my spirit animal. It makes sense. In my Shadowrun game, I am a centaur with with 6 arms and 6 legs. So if I can make a horse character, I will. You don't understand minion pact on Bell. The short answer of it is I have minions, and Minion Pact gives me 40% more damage as long as I have minions. So I dropped the bell once, and now my bell does 40% more damage. It's the same as Concentrated Effect without the downside. It is crazy strong. It is probably the strongest damaging support in the game, and I make extra good use of it because I'm full energy shield, so it acts as a bit of an evasion barrier because it takes hits from me. And it also allows me to charge power charges outside of combat before bosses, so I can have full frenzy or full charge staff for like simulacrums and bosses. And it also allows me to get the dual charge tech, so with charge infusion with those power charges, it gives me critical hit chance, and then because I have that, I'm able to get the frenzy charges, which gives me more skill speed, which is crazy, crazy damage numbers. And then also because I'm able to do that, I take these critical damage bonuses if I've consumed a power charge recently to get 60% more critical damage bonus. It is... The build communicates and works very well with itself. I put out the Evasion ES version of this yesterday, and it is very, very, very good, but it's needs a little bit of swapping back and forth for certain things. I have 2 versions, one for mapping, one for simulacrums, but you could use the simulacrum version if you drop Wind Dancer, and you could use that for everything, then you'd get the dual charges. But I just think it feels better on the Energy Shield version, because I really like Wind Dancer on the Energy Shield version. Now, with that said, Wind Dancer is also really, really, really good on just Energy Shield, because it pops in an AoE, and it can take out everything that would have stunned you. So I guess that's another thing I could say. If you're having issues with stuns, and you're willing to slot off one thing from your bar here, maybe even like Combat Frenzy to move a little slower, but then you get Wind Dancer, it's a huge defensive layer. It's a huge, huge defensive layer that will save you from getting stun locked. Can you have 2 or more unique diamonds? You're confused because it says only one of this type. Yeah, you can only have one controlled metamorphosis. You can only have one against the darkness. You can only have one megalomaniac. You can only have one heroic tragedy. Yeah, you can only have one from nothing. You can't double up the uniques. You can get a lot of different diamonds, but you can't double up the uniques. That's the difficult bit. What's your favorite moneymaker for a monk like this? You have 3 divines. Uh, right now, the market changed a little bit, and Simulacrums got a lot cheaper. But I was getting a ton of splinters doing Delirious maps with just this node and this node anointed or allotted. And when you had those 2 nodes, you got so many Simulacrum splinters that it was just making money hand over fist. It was like 50 exalt a map. And that was my favorite moneymaker. I still like doing breaches. I find breaches really fun, but they're not the best. Because everybody is doing Simulacrums and breaches, if you want to make money right now, you're going to need all 4 points for logbooks here, which is rough. But once you get the remnants, and if you're able to do it, if you're strong enough, then it makes a lot of money getting the logbooks, and you just sell the logbooks. And then you can also make quite a bit on rituals if you come up here and you get the ritual altars. It's slow going, but because nobody's doing rituals, these invitations are still like 8 divine each. So as long as you just keep hitting ritual maps, like every 10 maps or so, you'll get an invitation. It'll take you about another 8 maps to afford all the deferral costs, but at least you'll get the invitation. Passion and fashion, most definitely, yeah. It's got to be pretty. The link doesn't show the passive tree. It's blank. Really? That's weird. Oh, I'll show you how to do it. So when you're in POB, I'm going to copy and paste the build right there. Are you sure? Yes. Back to YouTube, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why it's taking me out of YouTube. I'm just going to click that link. There we go. Go to site. So it takes you here. This kind of shows you what you're looking at, but it's super glitched. What you do, though, is you take this and you copy it. Once you copy that node here, just the pob.info, whatever, you come into Path of Building. I'm going to save this. And you go New. Here, it's just a blank tablet. There's nothing in it. Then you go to Import, Export Builds. To import build, enter the URL. You push that in there, and you hit Import. And when you do that, it brings everything up for you. That should get it to you every time. I hope that helps, Jesse Lee. Chris Chung. Yeah, Adorn Diamond is incredibly expensive, but you can make builds that just don't exist with it. It is the best jewel in the game, bar none, if you build around it. You can do things that nobody else can do. It's a jewel, though, for infinite currency. And if you don't have infinite currency, you won't be able to make it work as well as somebody who does. It only works if you have an active minion. Yeah, exactly. You used to do Lingering Illusion with it. You fixed the CI interaction. Yeah, I hate that they fixed it. I thought it was working fine with CI and Lingering Illusion. I thought it was good, but I guess they didn't. We're no longer using Minion Pact to give you power charges. Now we're using Minion Pact for the 40% more damage. The skill tree looks so different now. Yes, it does, Bapesta. This is the tech that I thought would be the biggest improvement. And I checked this versus what getting a adorned... is it adorned? No, what getting an Astramentus would do. And it was like 2.5 times better than getting Astramentus. And for the cost of getting this against the darkness, getting... this Megalomaniac, and getting this from nothing. The cost of doing all of that was about a fifth the cost of an Astromentus. And so yeah, like literally 2.5 times the effort, or 2.5 times the value. I think this was the right way to go. And then obviously you can still farm for an Astromentus, and I am hard working for it. I am wheeling and dealing all my stuff the best I can, and I am hammering maps. But honestly, because I've been messing with so many videos and stuff like that, I haven't had much time, so most of my currency has been literally just trading, and that's how I've been making my currency. I made a lot of divine this past 3 days. I made about 60 divine the last 3 days just trading. And that's because I can listen for when it goes ding on my computer when I'm editing videos and doing stuff like that, but I wouldn't have time to play. But it opened my eyes to just how much money you could make by just focusing on trading, basically not even playing the game. So right here, do you know how lightning exposure interacts with Sunder My Enemies? I'm pretty sure it doesn't work well. So lightning exposure here says it lowers the effective enemy resistance to the corresponding damage type. By default, it's minus 20%. I know a lot of people say, oh, but it can raise it below 0, but oh, you'd have to be less than 20% base resistance to begin with. That might be fine with some mobs and maps, but mobs and maps doesn't matter. You're already going to be nuking them, so who cares? And then Sunder My Enemies ignores non-negative elemental resistances, and because this says lowers their resistance, I'm quite certain, because it's already on them, it applies before Sunder My Enemies. So essentially, it does nothing for lowering the resistances against bosses. It's an extremely minimal amount of damage and not worth it to take whatsoever. However, with this new tech, with the controlled metamorphosis here, we are able to get Wildstorm for 15% more lightning damage. Nuts. And Exposed to the Storm. Don't care about the lightning pin, but we do care about 30% increased critical hit chance against enemies with lightning exposure. 30% critical hit chance is absolutely ridiculously good. So if I have power charges with... Oh, hey, Uno Dos. Just a second. Come on up, girl. Yeah, she wanted attention. So if I have power charges, right now I'm at 49.24% crit rate. Pretty dang good. It's going to be hard to get that without getting some other things, but obviously I have these on, and I kind of sort of think I might come here for 22% more. It's not the most efficient damage nodes, but I might get those just to bring it up even higher. And then you also bump it up with things like potential. If you were to cast a power charge, it would be whatever amount above with that 30%. And the other thing is, with Exposed to the Storm, since it's 30% increased critical hit chance, that's another like 4% crit chance on them flat. It's, yeah, it's so much crit chance. It's about the same as what you'd path to come down here for critical exploit, but for 1 point. That's why I get lightning exposure. Oh, yes. I know, Uno. I have fewer of these maximum energy shield to stun threshold jewels, but I still have 3 of them. I think I'm at 20. Okay, so I'm at 6 plus 8, so 14 plus 7. I'm at 21% of my energy shield to stun threshold, and I have the minions, so it should be okay. If it's not enough, I might need to swap some jewels around, but I think it should be okay. Because I don't want to lose these jewels. They got really nice, pretty much everything on them. They're my best jewels. Oh, man. Totally agree with the trade angle. Currently on about making about 150 plus divs a day. Holy crap. Full noise? That's a lot of money trading. You're making more than me, that's for sure. But yeah, divs a day trading is the way to go. I try not to be too mean about it, but 100% yes. Your monk today reached 1.1 million DPS on flurry in hideout attribute stacking as king. Good on you, senpai. That's nuts. That's ridiculously nuts. Like 1.1 million, you're gonna be doing whatever you want in any map. That's for sure. Okay, uno dos. I gotta set you down now because we gotta go put this in testing now. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, baby girl. Oh, I know you look happy. Sorry, Bebs. Or sorry, Uno. Bebs is behind me. Oh, Isus. Isus, baby, on. Mwah! Megalomaniac just need Jack of all trades. Yeah, Jack of all trades is the essential one. Right here, Jack of all trades. But if you can get something else, like how I got Vulgar Methods, that's great. But if you get another good mod, you're going to be paying more. Everybody knows that more than one good mod, you pay more. This one here, Blinding Flash, doesn't do too much for this version of the build, but it's still okay. So Jack of all trades is great. If you have the From Nothing Jewel for Iron Reflexes, you get Polymathy and these attributes, and you also get this Authority node, which is really nice area of effect. And then Jack of all trades, so you're just losing 9 all attributes, but you're saving 17 skill points. Well, right now, with me swapping this around, it's 19 skill points I'm saving. Alright, so now Exposed to the Storm node doesn't show on POB. No, it doesn't. It does not show the damage on POB, but if you want to see how much it does on POB, let's just put it this way. Number's not perfectly exact correct, but 50.5 million damage. When I take off 25% crit hit chance, it goes down to 47.3. That's 25 crit chance, and this is giving 30. So that's going to be giving even more damage than Critical Exploit. Oh yeah, triple attribute rings, that's definitely the best way to go, 100%. I had all elemental resistances on mine because I wanted to be a little bit easier making my resistances capped, but it would have been better if I went triple attributes so I could pump them with the quality attributes even harder, and then just went triple res on my helmet, chest, and boots. But it's too late for me now. I've made my bed. I'm going to lay in it. I'm not going to change things. And I built my build around being able to use this amulet here. I need to get a slightly better belt as well to get my cold res capped. But overall, it's pretty good right now. It's pretty good indeed. That, or I could, like... No, that would only be one. Where's something with cold resistance? Nothing else has cold resistance. Just cold resistance here, cold resistance here. Okay, that's rough. I had a really good sapphire ring, so I sacrificed cold resistance everywhere. If we're ever able to swap resistances around, like we can in Path of Exile 1, I'd like take off this lightning res for this cold res, and it would fix it immediately. From Nothing does not have a radius, so it won't affect it. You don't need to look for radius. Okay, so close combat and overabundance are the ones that are kind of interesting to keep in here. I don't know if I'll ever find a way to put them back in, but they are very, very, very good nodes. So, like, I could potentially put close combat back on the bell and put primal armament on, like, the heralds, possibly. But, like, it's already doing so much. I could put it on Herald of Ice instead of Conduction, because Conduction doesn't really do much when you shock all the time anyways. That is one thing you could definitely do. But then you get rid of the pretty blue, red, blue, red, blue. My crit chance? Sure, so my crit chance... Tempest Bell? Why aren't you showing me the shockwaves? That's weird. Anyways, on to Tempest Flurry. My crit chance is 41.03, but when I have power charges, thanks to Charge Infusion, it goes up to 49.24. and it is about 3.5 crit chance higher because of exposed to the storm and me having lightning exposure. So now, since I'm not doing any sort of content that requires sacrifice, I'm just going to do maps. I'm going to take these off and put it on this way. Elemental focus can come down here. Are you zipping around like crazy with Tempest? Oh yeah. I will be as soon as I get a frenzy charge. I'm at 8.85, but I'm going to get a frenzy charge and I'll bring it up to over 9, probably close to 10 attacks a second. Maps. Let's go Delirium map. Yeah, that's more rare monsters. That's nice. Lots of rare monsters and a little bit of rarity. Trying to work towards the Citadel. I just want to hit Citadels right now. I gotta find a way to get to that boss. The Arbiter boss. I want more points towards him. It showed only small, that's why I was asking. Radius matters from nothing. Yeah, it only ever will be small. There we go. It'll only ever be small. It's... If it could have been slightly more, like it wouldn't affect it here. But if you ever got like a resonance one, you'd be sad by the radius because like you can't hit deep trance just barely. Same thing with this against the darkness time lost. It's large, it's just slightly too small to get inner faith, and that makes me sad. Also slightly too small to get deadly force, and that makes me sad. Otherwise, I'd be coming down here and getting these nodes as well, and making the most of this against the darkness. Like, I wish this was just slightly longer. Just a tip for anyone who doesn't know, make sure that when your piece of gear has flat fire damage, you lose 30% more damage on Bell if you don't hit either. Yeah, it adds a lot. You can kind of sort of get around that by having Infernal Legion on your Skellies, but it's better to just have fire damage on your ring for sure. It's a huge damage increase. And yeah, Iron Reflexes is expensive now. I talked about it last week on stream, and it was 20 div then when I bought it, and it was 20 div on stream, and now it's like 30 something. It's going up, people are discovering it, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it yet, but I definitely am trying to get the word out before people find out too much. That's a cool looking shield. So like here, I got a frenzy charge. My attack speed is 9.9 attacks a second. 9.9 attacks a second. That's nuts. Oh, thank you so much, Halfwit. Love the science behind the builds. Please update the max roll. Oh, I will be. Don't you worry. I've updated the POB. You want a max roll as well? I could export one for you. So frequently in your video's description. Yeah, for sure. Also, I don't know if you're here yet, but Liberal, he tipped right before the stream started. Thank you so much to the both of you. Like, I really appreciate the hell out of you guys. Did anything pop up when the tip came in? Because I have a alert box, but I don't think it showed anybody. You know what? Let's just turn this on. Therefore, you can actually see people who tipped. If you were generous enough to tip, you deserve to be recognized. And thank you again so much, Halfwet. Is that tooltip reading 870,000 DPS? Yes, it's 800,000 DPS. I don't know, maybe the power charge here fell off. Oh yeah, here, let's go get you some power charges first. Oh, it's solar? Okay, so is everything here just a delirious monster? Is that why I'm not getting any power charges? Anyways, on a normal map, 9.9 attacks per second. Put my charge staff on one layer Get these charges going. Get Ice Bite and Innervate going. There we go. Ice Bite and Innervate should be going right now. 790,000. Yeah, it goes up. I guess I only had Ice Bite. Why do I not have Innervate going on? Do I... No, I got Innervate on there. It should be going all the time. That's weird. But yeah, it goes well over 800,000. Holy crap, Divine Orb. Streamer luck. Streamer luck. Not even trying to hide it anymore. Yeah, 870,000 DPS when it's set up entirely as a support skill. There we go. It's over 1 million right now when it's set up entirely as a support skill with Lightning Exposure, Inspiration, Overcharge, Rage. Only Martial Tempo brings the damage numbers up. So that's the kind of damage numbers you get when things are actually coming online, which is all the time here. What are your supports on Charge Staff? Oh, I'm getting attacked. I got Persistence, so it lasts a little longer. Electrocute and Neural Overload for the crazy good extra defensive support and the element on the bell. Bludgeon. That one can definitely be swapped out with something else. Like if you wanted more damage, you could put the Primal Armament on there and then put Close Combat on Tempest Bell. But I have Bludgeon on there just to see a little bit of a defensive barrier as well. Keep things away from you. And then Unbreakable, because apparently you get the 200% more stun threshold whenever you have Charge Staff. And so if you have any stun threshold, it triples it. It's... yeah. I tried this before in the past and it didn't seem to do anything. But right here, Unbreakable and Charge Staff seems to be best in slot. You could also put it on something like Wind Dancer, but Wind Dancer also has... it takes up a slot and it's kind of hard to replace it. It's a really, really, really good skill and I like Wind Dancer a lot. It's just hard to put everything on your bar, even with a unset ring. There we go. I've only got one power charge? Okay, whatever. Just waiting for these guys to come up. See like how it's getting pushed back as I hit it? So if there's a tougher mob, you might be able to go towards it and have like no issue fighting it because hey, it's just getting pushed away. And if you wanted to make this a little bit nicer with mapping, instead of having self-cast Profane Ritual, you could put this on like cast on freeze, and then it will cast itself for you. But then you'd have to swap it to manual cast for bossing, and I'm trying to keep this as consistent as possible through all content, so I'm not needing to make multiple swaps. With here right now, I can literally play this Sims, I can play this bossing, I can play this mapping. It works great. The only thing I change out for Sims is Herald of Ice, and I put in my Grim Feast. And I guess, obviously, put in Sacrifice when I'm bossing instead of Grim Feast as well. It's really convenient that way.
No escape.
So yeah, I really like the dual charge tech. Really, really like it. As you can see, it's super zippy. Super, super zippy. And I don't even have, like, the absolute best jewels that I could have for it. I just got stuff that communicates well and I hit proper breakpoints. If you hit 375 dexterity and you use the passive tree I'm doing and you get dual charges, you will have this attack speed. Come on. This thing with all the doors is getting kind of annoying. Come on, doors. Oh my god. So many doors to open, it's slowing me down. How much does the budget version of this cost? I put out a video of it that cost 7 divines. I did that 2 days ago. And I was able to clear tier 4 Zesht with basically no issue. You still needed to do a little bit of mechanics, but I mean, if you're on 7 div from start to that point, you're doing pretty good. And that's 7 divs if you had absolutely nothing else. All you had to do was find things that actually work well together. Holy crap, I'm fast with this. There is something else I could do as well to make myself even faster for maps. I could use a triple attack speed staff, which would be a lot of less damage, but you would zip around so much faster. I'll show that off as well. So, you're using Electrocute on Tempest Flurry the other way around. Is it better on Charge Staff? You can use it on both. I personally like it on Charge Staff because I just get all the shocks and shock effect off with Tempest Flurry. This is guaranteed to hit whenever I'm doing anything, and so now I'm able to use like the Lightning Exposure, the Overcharge, I'm using the Rage. It's just sometimes you can, I don't know. I like it there. It's perfectly fine on Tempest Flurry, though. It's a preference thing. No other way to say it. It's just a preference thing. Then I don't need to mess with the Sluice Gate lever. Oh my. Money's coming in. How about the mobility support gem to move faster? Have you tried that? Honestly, that's not a bad idea. I should try that. Trade. Beautiful. Well, you've given me an idea. I don't know what mobility will feel like on there, but we're going to try it. %30 less movement speed penalty while using the support gem. So, base feel. And now when we take out, say, let's just take out Overcharge for now, because that's like the bossing one. I don't think it... No, it didn't seem to do anything. So I guess that's because it's more for things like Storm Wave and Spark, those kinds of mobility ones. Because when I'm doing this Tempest Flurry attack, I'm not able to move around with my WASD. Whereas if you have like the Storm Flurry and stuff like that, or Storm Wave, it does move around WASD. It was a really good idea to check out, though. I guess it just doesn't work, though. It would have been super nice if it did. That would have been so nice if it did. Thank you, though, Burn. Thank you. Go on. This is a nice looking map. 58% rarity. They get a bunch of damage. Let's up it. There we go. I got nothing else out of it except for made it harder. Exactly what we wanted. Perfect. Delirium. Let's give it some rare monsters. 45% increased rares. Boom. 36% delirious. Now we're going to corrupt it and hope for the best. It got more mods. It didn't lose the rarity or anything. Made them tankier. I'm going to use this for the Citadel when we get to it. Because if I can do a big delirious Citadel one with nice Waystone drop chance, that'd be nice. Looks the same, I think, because you already gone past the negative movement speed threshold. That's possible, that's for sure. Is momentum worth it on charge staff or better? Honestly, full noise, that's something I thought about quite a bit with charge staff. But it's not on the buff that it counts, it would be on the shockwave. So I think it would only ever give you more damage if you were to somehow move while the shockwave was in the air. So I don't think it works on charge staff. I thought the same kind of with Tempest Flurry. Bell might work if you put it on your bell, you drop it, then you like dodge roll 2 meters. It might work, but that's really awkward. I like this setup quite a bit. Momentum is more for something like Flicker Strike or like Killing Palm or something for sure. It's amazing on that. Yeah. If it did work that way on charge staff, it would be overpowered. Like if it upgraded the damage of your buff, but like as you can see, I got all these other things on here, and every time I put it on with the buff, it doesn't actually affect anything except for Unbreakable, which is surprising. Like it doesn't change the damage per power charge if I were to add Primal Armament over Bludgeon kind of thing. It doesn't change anything there. But it does change the Shockwave. You like Tempest Speed, just can't drop Hands of Chayula with Voltaic Mark for maps. Hands of Chayula with Voltaic Mark is a lot of fun. I tried doing Voltaic Mark with Cast On. The issue I had is when I did Hands and I jumped to an enemy, it was like maybe my attack speed was too fast because it would hit, like get me there, but then it wouldn't hit. So then I would have to hit it again 2 or 3 times before finally Voltaic Mark would proc, and that was getting me killed. Assassin board, you got a 3rd socket instead of 12 damage. It's still very good, yeah. It's just the 12% damage will be a lot better. And the gem removes 30 negative move speed. Yeah, it removes 30 negative move speed. But it's more on things like Spark and Stormwave. I don't know if it would work if I like took off all the attack speed, but either way, I'm pretty sure Tempest Flurry moves you a set distance per attack, and so that's why getting more attack speed just moves you faster. Yeah, I'm not too sure if there's a way to see how far it moves you, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I need to save that map because it's a really good map. I'm going to use it on that Citadel when we get to it. Oh, we got a few rarity maps. Good. Grab this tier 13. Get it out of the way because it's a... Oh, wait, it's a... I'll use that one on the tower. So here we'll use this one. More ailment threshold so you can see what that's like. Nothing really from it. Do I not have... That's 8% rarity. That's terrible. Where's a good rarity map? Come on, Delirious. Tab. 85% increased rares is good. That's definitely worth it. This one is big rarity as well. And that one's huge rarity. So we'll check those ones out. And then add more rares if we can to any of these. So that one is only 10%, but here we go. We're going to add huge amounts of rare monsters to this map. 115% increased rares. This one... Huge rarity, more rares. I really like the rares. The rares is where the money comes from. There we go. Come this way with these guys. Up the map as much as I can for both of them. Because these ones look actually quite nice. That one didn't roll anything nice. This one really is looking good. So is this one. I'm not going to corrupt this guy because it's just a tier 14, but this tier 15, let's hope for the best. Don't brick, don't brick, don't brick. It didn't brick, but it didn't change either. Okay. So we're going to run these guys for money for sure. And this guy here will just run on this breach map because we got a whole bunch of increased rares. How did you allocate iron reflexes? That's with the tech with from nothing. Passes and radius of iron reflexes can be allocated without being connected to the tree, and it saves you all these nodes. I don't actually have iron reflexes, but I have authority with all of these all attributes and polymathy. Super nice. General's Biddings doesn't really do much for you though, and neither does Leatherbound Gauntlets, and neither does Bleeding Out. So the big ones are authority and all of these nodes, and then you're able to get Jack of all trades as well with a Megalomaniac, and it's a budget version of doing the one from Resonance because it all of these nodes, but it saves you. I mean, it gives you so much damage for a fifth the cost. I don't think I'm missing anything here. These are just maps to rip out. These ones are the next ones. I'm level 96. The rune you were mentioning, Megalomaniac. What are you saying, Manuel? What were you not able to find? Enemies.
No escape.
Come on, enemies, where are you? Still looking for enemies. I haven't seen any yet. Not a... what's the word I'm looking for here? Not a delirious map, so we don't pick it up. Ooh, a sapphire, like sapphires. Like the tier 4 stuff. Hopefully to be a jackpot hit. They almost never are, especially since I don't know what I'm looking for on scepters. I think you used a different day yesterday. A different name? There are a couple of jewels that I was talking about yesterday. There's the From Nothing and the Megalomaniac. Maybe I mixed them up. That's a cool looking helmet. All these waystones. I gotta stop dropping waystones because I have to look at all of them. I even have a good loot filter that's not dropping too much, but it's still enough that I have to look at these things. Another divine? What the hell? Well, I've had more divines drop in this stream than I have in the entire week. Hell yeah. Good things come in threes. Also not the thing I'm looking for, unfortunately. How's my charge staff run out? That's funny. I don't know if we took out the boss that fast or if we ran away from it. Either way, we're in a good spot. Another stream. Have you thought of using perpetual charge on charge staff instead of bludgeon? Yeah, I have. It's probably the right way to go, but I'm just trying out bludgeon right now. I usually use perpetual charge, honestly. But like whenever I pick up loot, I just smack profane, charge my staff, and I go like this. And if I'm actually paying remote amounts of attention, I have basically permanent upcharge on staff and power charges. Why aren't you picking up? There we go. Oh, here's the boss. There's the boss. Sorry, I lied. I thought there was a boss. Howdy, dudes, indeed. Thanks for coming by, gaming. Enigma E Gaming. Oh, I have really good uptime of charges and charge staff. It's a little less against Simulacrum monsters because they don't drop bodies, but as you can see, max charge staff, I come here, I hit it a couple times, and then I got basically max power charges again. And here, I'm not even using meditate, so I am just stuck on terrain right now. And I'm still max life all the time because of what's the word I'm looking for here? Grim Feast, and things are just going pretty smooth and easy. So as you can see, pretty fast here. You don't even really need to aim or anything. Because of multi-threading consistently crashing my computer, you guys have to watch this poor leggy mess of of a breach right now. But you know what? It's okay. Because it's over now and it will start playing better. Gotta pick up all these shards. If I could have like a macro to pick them up for me, that would be amazing. Because no shards left behind.
Arms for the monastery.
I know those splinters aren't worth the most, but it's super helpful for me to just have them because I'm constantly picking things up. So like when you're doing breach and stuff like this, as you can see, I can just full up? Seriously? Well, I guess I need to go and drop some things into my dump tab. Sack minions? Yeah, sack minions 100% works great. If I actually use meditate instead of grim feast, I would just put sacrifice in right now, and then I would just always have it. I wouldn't have to worry about the simulacrum monsters at all. And you know what? Just for the sake of it, I'll show you what it's like running that tech instead. Is this good? Is this actually good? Breach splinters are going up. Good. Because I like doing breaches. Breaches are fun. They're just terrible to keep picking up the shards. Or the splinters, I should say. Just updating my sidekick right now. Catalyst. Drop these maps off. Can't wait for the Waystone tab to come in. That would be amazing. Large or medium size? Large. Oh, it's a full update to sidekick. Large works down here, but here we need mid-large specifically. Because if you don't have mid-large, you can't get serrated edges, and serrated edges is amazing. It's an extra 10% crit chance to go with the 15% more maximum lightning damage. And then here we get... we don't care about the lightning resist, we don't care about lightning exposure, but what we do care about is 30% increased critical hit chance if they have exposure. So you're just critting all the time. As far as you know, it does not go to both Wildstorm and Exposed to the Storm. That's why you're curious. Yeah, large does not work, medium does not work, but mid-large does. Yeah, that's not bad. All right, now time to see if this is actually worth anything. Uh, the div ones have been sitting there for a long time. Same with the 35X. That's sad. But you know what? It looks fine enough to actually don't do a div. There we go. What did I get for the last mod? Crit chance? Oh, nice. I don't know if it's a tier 1 crit chance, but it's 6 goods mods. Let's try 70 exalts. That one there. Break down. Break down, and probably break that down. T5, T5, T5. Again, I don't know what bows are good, but 2 damage rolls plus crit chance seems okay. Yeah, mid-large for sure, you're welcome. How would you compare that jewel setup to the attack speed dex below? Which one, Enigma? Attack speed dex? This one down here? I do not mind pathing these because if we're willing to take some attribute nodes with a little bit of attack speed is nice. But when we were pathing down here and taking all these points, or when we're doing the attack, the evasion energy shield base, we just didn't have the points to work with. But I kind of really like doing this. And I know I'm putting a couple things here. Holy, Guyby, thank you so much. $10, thank you. You guys are ridiculously generous. Holy crap. Oh, wow. Yeah, and the reason why I come up here for the decks is this is like 20 decks. It's really nice. It's worth 2 nodes. Well, I guess 3 nodes, but we're getting 8 decks here, so think of it as like each one, 8 plus 20, 28, 10 decks on each one is worth it. For me, yeah, that's exactly. I am not the evasion build now. I'm pure energy shield. This has armor on it just so I can roll strength on the helmet. If I needed more resistances, it could be straight energy shield and with 2 resistances and 1 attribute roll. And it's also extremely good, but I'm trying to pump as many attributes in this as possible. And obviously strength is very, very good. I'm kind of curious if there's any of these that I... No, that one I am not div slamming. That is super good. This one here, I could definitely get the attributes up, but I need the all res. And the damage is actually really highly rolled. So I'd probably lose out if I use that. Yeah, I do it just because it's basically like getting a bunch of extra decks, and me pathing up here means I don't need to take away strength nodes, which is another way that's indirectly giving me damage. I just really wanted to hit 375 decks for the big attack speed boost. And yeah, thank you again, Guyby. Like, seriously, $10, that's a lot of money. Thank you so much. Your loot filter, $10.01. Thank you, Hackenstein. Oh, if you guys want to have a competition, oh, I am all for it. I will be here and I will take every penny. And thank you again, Hackenstein. Oh my. Your loot filters been hiding everything lately. Not sure what changed. Did you get a stricter loot filter? If you have a more strict loop filter, it'll do that. Also, if you change map tiers, sometimes it'll swap some things out. So with this loop filter, if I'm in like a tier 11 map, it'll show me things I don't care about. But if I'm in the tier 15, 16 maps, it hides a lot more stuff because it only wants to show you the good stuff. What gems do I have on the bell? I got Concentrated Effect, Immolate, Potential, Primal Armament, and Minion Pact. The only reason why Primal Armament isn't on Tempest Flurry is because with Lightning Exposure, I get 30% critical hit chance, and that 30% critical hit chance applies to Tempest Bell. What's that? Yeah, Enigma. I recommend going with the original Walking Bonk, the one in Walking Bonk 4, but with the updated charge tech. Uh, Instead of, if you're still needing to path down here for sure, because this is an expensive upgrade. When you're able to make this upgrade, it's a monstrous, monstrous improvement. With about 50 div cost is what I paid to get this jewel. Oh, sorry. This jewel, this jewel, and this jewel. All of them was about 50 div total, but I probably got lucky. Honestly, I probably got lucky. And obviously, From Nothing has went up about 10 div since I bought it. You're welcome. You give up. Well, I appreciate you still, Gavi. Don't you worry. That was fantastic. Like, seriously. Seriously, thank you so much. What's the difference the number make on the heroic jewel? It changes the when you take this off, you see this is reduced curse duration, curse duration. You put it on. Now this is 40% increased cold damage and 15 dex. This is spell damage and flask charms. This here changes to block chance, projectile, evasion rating, and fire resistance. This one's evasion rating, fire resistance again. This one's really good with max lightning and fire and lightning res, max energy shield and lightning res. And this one's chaos res totem. That's what the number does, but we have no way of knowing what it's going to give you ahead of time. You just need to buy the Verona Jewel to go for circular teachings. That's all you need to worry about. This is the number one thing. Everything else is secondary and not nearly as important. I just realized I'm coming up here and pathing. I'm getting this, but I'm not actually... I don't think I'm getting the final one, but since I moved it, the 2% maximum lightning res is probably less important than just getting 10 or 15% better recharge rate, but oh well. It's an option. Because this is only my weapon swap, so all I'm doing with this is I weapon swap and I meditate to full energy shield like that. Well, doubled up energy shield. You can hit Alt and see it, it'll show a color. Alt and see what there, Hankenstein? Just got here. What's the bottom? How do you get it to work? Onion, we got that to work with Megalomaniac to give us Jack of all trades, and with a From Nothing, which does radius around iron reflexes. That's what does this special tech here. I will have a video on the evasion version of this coming out either tonight or tomorrow morning, and then that will show how the tech is done, and I'll have another one with this build with the evasion version coming out a day or two later, and it's crazy good. Like, it's, for comparison, when I put the same values in path of building, I reduced some things so that I could get a little bit of quality of life, and I'm at 50.5 million damage after reducing things for quality of life. I will need to put that in there. I don't know. Like, this isn't one for one the exact same tree. This was kind of my theory tree, but I guess I'm going to have to do that to show. But, so think about that. 50 million damage, about 9,000 energy shield, versus my normal build, 32 million damage, but 10,000 energy shield, obviously. So I'm getting literally... It's not perfect calculations because POB is a little bit glitched right now, but legitimately like 50% more damage for an extremely minor sacrifice. When you have all that, you're not even going to feel the 1,000 energy shield. And if you wanted that 1,000 energy shield, you could probably keep it by just getting more defensive nodes and dropping a few damage ones. Oh, the second weapon does not matter at all. The only thing that I'm using on the second weapon here is the focus for the 2 to level of all spell skills and the increased energy shield recharge rate. I think this cost me 5 exalt. And because of it, here, I'm going to use the weapon swap, dropping my energy shield glitch to bring me all the way down. There we go. I'm below. Because of this, and because of the weapon swap tech to give me all this increased energy shield recharge rate, all this energy shield recharge rate, when I use meditate with my weapon swap, it's crazy fast. Used to be an adventurer. Why not Herald Song nodes? Only 2 points and 50. Oh, because it. You don't need 50% increased damage. It's 3 points, but 50% increased cold and lightning damage, not needed whatsoever. Because for those 3 points, like I said, 50%. On this staff, 12% per 5 strength, and I have nearly 500 strength. That's nearly 1200% increased weapon damage, which includes loads. So another 50%, you're not going to feel it. But by saving those points, we're able to get like the attack speed nodes and these extra dex nodes for the quality of life. We're able to get all these maximum energy shield nodes and all these crit chance nodes, this reduced cost, all these jewel slots. Like that's where it comes in, like the crit and the quality of life, and the more lightning damage is way more efficient than getting Coming Calamity. If you were to come down here and say you wanted the reduced reservation of Herald skills, that would make more sense. But Coming Calamity just, it does almost nothing for you because your damage is so high with the scaling of this build. It doesn't do much. Yeah, Alexander, prices are going nuts, and it makes me sad. Like, I bought this for 7 div, like, probably 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I don't even know what it's worth now, but it's worth a lot more than 7 div. But you can still get some really good stuff for cheap. Like, with the swap setup, I bought this one for 10 div a week and a half ago. And I'm pretty sure it's worth more now, especially since I corrupted it and I got thorns, because everybody wants thorns, right? But like a high double res and an attribute with good stats, that's going to go for a while. And this one here, I think it was 2 div, ridiculously cheap. The guy had it way low listed, but you just keep your eye on the market and you'll find great deals. I'm thinking people forget to upgrade after buying cheap one early on. Yes, they definitely do. And Steamy Pot, I actually intentionally moved the Verona away from here to get rid of the 40% increased energy shield and put it here so that people could not have to worry about the number. They're really worried about getting that 40% increased maximum energy shield. Just get circular teachings. That's all you need to worry about. That is the main thing. And like, yeah, it does mean that I am losing out on like 500 energy shield not having it, but it's more worth it for me to show you guys that it's very good even without it. And then it allows me to save an extra skill point, which lets me get like the dex and allows me to get more strength here for the scaling of my energy shield through circular teachings. Yeah, wallet's ready indeed. I know, right? I tried to recruit this on stream first so you guys can actually go and get it before the prices go up. I don't want the prices to go up at all. Yeah, Hankenstein, definitely attributes are really important. How do you import your build into POB, or you just create all your items manually? You just go out here, you press Control C, and then you go into your path of building, you go into items, and you go Control V, and that's how you import items. Copy and paste, literally. It's one at a time, but it works really well. I wonder if I would bother to have cold flat on my ring since I'm using ice strike. It's still very helpful. Ice strike is good, but having cold flat and fire flat on your rings are really important for boosting your damage and making the freezes and ignites consistent. I definitely recommend still having it. 100%. Alrighty, time to keep hammering these. Wait, I didn't finish this map yet. Congratulations, Misha. I'm sorry it was so expensive, but definitely congratulations. That's fantastic. Thank you, Sebastian. Or Sebast Demars. Sorry, I read it quick. Like here, I just walk into the map. Since I already took things out, I already have max power charges and max staff without really having to try anything. And map is done. Was a damn long way, no kidding. Like, I finally got to the point where I'm able to start flipping some things, and I was able to get a lot of currency in the past weekend. Like, legitimately, I had to learn because I was not making money fast. It was coming real slow. And now that I've started finding some good deals and flipping them to try and make some sort of coin, I've been building up a little stockpile. Yeah, I've made it so that it's possible for me to eventually afford the Verana Jewel. Potentially. I'm working on it. I just really hope it doesn't hike in price again. If it hikes in price again, I'll cry. See, this is not a terrible one, but not a good one either. So we're going to corrupt it and see what happens. And it lost a mod. Now it's worth basically nothing. Daniel Cox? On stream, sure, but not off stream. From Marseille, French guy. Oh, I am semi-fluent French. I used to be when I was young, mais maintenant mes français sont vraiment rouillés. So désolé, mais ça va être difficile pour si je veux essayer de parler en français pour longtemps. But yeah, used to be very French, so and worked with French people a couple years ago. A few French crews that I was in charge of, so I definitely needed to refresh it. But it's been 15, no, how old am I? Yeah, 15 years since I was completely fluent. Like, go to France and speak with anybody fluent. You ate my pineapple. Sorry, I can't be adding friends on here. My friends list will explode really fast. I gotta deny them. But if you want to send me a message, you can send it. Do you already have an updated POB link? Yeah, if you hit !build, it will show the current thought process I have for putting this in. It's updating on stream with you guys. Like, I've already changed a few little things here and there, but for the most part, it's the same. And I'm really liking how this is looking and feeling right now in those first couple maps. I don't know if I had like the lightning exposure on Tempest Flurry in there. I don't think I had the exposed to the storm on there yet, but for the most part, it's the same. Your couple of French words. On a two Alex. Yep. Two of you indeed. What items are you flipping? A little bit of everything. Mostly jewels that people are really looking for. If I can find jewels that hit nodes that are popular, that are selling for kind of cheap, like if you can find something with like serrated edges on Megalos or like vulgar methods, people definitely go for those. try, and then also like if you can find some from nothings that got posted a little bit low, like you can buy them for 30 and sell them for like 33. That is a good way to make a little bit of money. You know, that sort of thing. Just try to go out there. You have to be patient to purchase them. I don't know how much to sell them for because nobody has about. Okay, so that skull brand is beautiful. The physical damage is pretty low, but those attributes are amazing. That there you could probably get, like, I'm gonna say like 5 div for. Let's see here. Oh no, these ones here are kind of the same with mana, but they're in like the 20s of divs. Okay, so maybe my thought process is low on that. This Apocalypse Medallion, holy crap. It doesn't have the flat evasion, so I wouldn't be flat energy shield and percent energy shield, so I would be less interested on it for myself. But that is amazing still. That is incredibly amazing. I think that one will probably sell for like 15 div. And this Dragon Clasp, also ridiculously good, probably with like 15 div. You got some crazy good stuff there. I would have assumed this Skullbrand ring like 10 or 15, but then seeing the next closest with those kinds of attributes was like 24. But I think they're a little bit high listed. I think you'll get a sale for these amulets for 15 div each, no problem. The prefixes are kind of missing, but you're not going to roll the prefixes. It's too expensive to get the omens. Same thing with the ring. That could be improved by a lot, but those suffixes are perfect, and the suffixes are the #1 most important bit of these builds. Yeah, Sebastimars. 100% is optimized. Yeah, I obsessed over getting the perfect stuff here. I really obsessed over getting the perfect stuff, and found the perfect deal for them too. Without the deal, it wasn't as worth it for me. I basically made this work as a budget, but then... Am I not in the map? No, I'm not. You had them a little higher, I'll low them. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad I could help. Yeah, like, this one here is better for me than your amulets, but your amulet is fantastic. And I paid 10 for this one. But the next closest one that was as good as that one was listed a little bit higher. I think it was like 20, and it was sitting there for a while. Oh, that's a lot of people sending stuff now. Uh, oh, that is beautiful. Holy crap, that's beautiful. That Onslaught Noose. That is beautiful. That's literally the perfect amulet. If you need the elemental resistances, for sure. That's the perfect amulet. I personally took off all elemental resistances from mine because I wanted to prepare my build for being able to get Astromentus if I ever did get it. But that is a fantastic one, and holy shit, that's a lot of damage. Yeah. You got amazing stuff. I would not change a thing. Those are kinds of things that you go home and you're just happy to have. You have all the right elements on there. You got the cold, you got the fire. Even the lightning damage to scale super nice. Oof. That is crazy. Hey, you know what? If you guys want to send me things on stream, if you're interested in seeing, I'll rate it for you for sure. But if people don't want to see it, I'll have to put a stop to it. But if people want to, it's fine. It's just not off stream, because off stream I get spammed quite a bit already, and I need to be able to get things done so that I can bring you guys content. Oh, yeah, no problem, Daniel. No problem at all. This is a fun map, the Bluff. Whoever designed it, you did good. Champ Shard. A heavy belt for the one cost that Headhunter costs now. The other reason why Headhunter just doesn't cost anything is because the Behead Jewel is a thing. I put that on to test it out, and when you got the buff, like, it was okay. But the main issue is when you put it on, it was most of the time Herald of Ice that was doing stuff. Sorry, man, can't do friend requests. I am so much so looking forward to the multi-threading fix. That is the #1 thing I need GGG to fix, because the gameplay is so smooth with multi-threading on, but I just can't do it without risking crashing my computer and crashing the stream. It's terrible. Yeah, I think I have enough attack speed, but the mana sustain is a little difficult with the level 19 jewel on just going speedy through maps. So it'll be a little bit difficult when it comes to simulacrums. I don't want to lose any of these jewels really, but like if I down leveled it, I wouldn't need inspiration and I could keep all this on there, and then I could, in theory, put on something like maybe Ahead, maybe Culling Strike, maybe putting Primal Armament on and then close combat to the bell. I don't know. Any of those kinds of things. When you agree to price stuff, just create a window so you're not spam like accepting PMs for 10 seconds, then I'll review the PMs back to maps. Oh, that's a good idea. Sorry, Exoda. It's going to be a bit much. Okay, this is the last one. I do level 10, no problem at all. Yeah, this is the last one. Those are nice looking boots. I have no idea for price of boots though. They're very nice looking boots though. Ooh, got 30 move speed. 30 move speed, some mana. I could potentially hit something on there. I got cold and some energy shield. I don't know if this is worth anything, but it looks really nice. Let's see here. The thing I would check is the move speed. And then if you toss that on there to really hyper, like maybe 10 exalt. Yeah, that's sad. So it's not worth qualitying. And heavy belts aren't even worth doing anything with anymore. I really like the setup of this one. I like, maybe it's because I just have more experience with the energy shield version of it. But yeah. Why the unset ring? Because it adds a lot of quality of life. It's a small damage loss to the breach ring. And I used to have the sapphire ring, which helped me get my cold res up, but I'm so close to getting max cold res without the sapphire ring that I'm wanting to go the unset ring. And then it allows me so much flexibility in my tree here. Like, it allows me to have an extra skill. I so bad wish 10 was the actual default, because it works so nicely and it feels so nice. 10 feels way better than 9 on here because we have so many skills to do. Like, I want to use all my spirits. Honestly, I wish I had like 12 to work with. Like Gemling, if I could get that one node, it would be amazing, so that I could get 3 more slots. So that way, if I didn't have Sacrifice and I had Grim Feast on, then I could use like Wind Dancer or something. Like, I would love to do that. I really would love to do that. The amount of div is going to resonate in my sleep for 1 week straight. How many div are you struggling to get there, Alexander Ribes? Can I kill T4 bosses with this build? I can make T4 bosses forget that they ever existed with this build, Gunder. Yeah, to have one skill socket more to use minions tech and have power chargers. Yeah. Yes is always the best. It's actually such a shame we have to unset. I know, right? I do like the unset rings, though. I feel like it gives more than a lot of people give it credit for. The extra skill slot is so nice. It's so nice for the extra passives and just to make everything else work better. I like it quite a bit. But yeah, do you want to see what a tier 4 boss looks like? Yeah. Let's take that off. Put this on for the sake of a proper showcase. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. So, this is my setup if I were to do bossing. Unless it was like King of the Mist or something, it's just better to have Meditate in there. Meditate is amazing for King of the Mists because you don't have enough time to charge your avatar. And same thing with like Arbiter. You don't need to worry about charging Arbiter because he just pops immediately. I'm trying to get this other one. Okay, so Ancient and Fated Crisis. I would show you the Arbiter kill, but it's only going to be a +3 or +2. So it's not the most honest showcase, whereas I could just come here with the Catalyst. I'm going to need to buy a full Breachstone. Oh, they went up a lot. Oh my god, they keep going up. Okay, so 1 for 246. Is that because the mirror duping? It must be because the mirror duping. Wow. That's just stupid. $169, so I get it first. What the hell? Why are divines so high? Like, literally, the cost of the Breachstone just doubled. Oh, wow. That's unpleasant to see. Yeah. Tempest Flurry. All I would swap is Sacrifice for Grim Feast when I get to the boss. That's literally all I swap now. Yes. Perfect. That will get me another Arbiter once I get to him. That's what I wanted to see. So yeah, this is obviously max level breach. Still unsure how we auto charge in maps. If you want to auto charge, like not have to worry about pressing profane at all ever, what you do is you come with gems and cast. Actually, I think I have my own boss set up. You use cast on freeze. Cast on freeze makes it so it will auto give you charges, but then you have to swap it when you get to bosses. And so I just auto cast it myself. Like I just hit my mouse button 3 times whenever I take out a pack of mobs. Then I get max charges, and I use that for my staff. And then the next pack I tap it a couple of times, and I get max charges again. And just whenever I'm looting, I smack it and I get max charges. And I got so many charges that it actually feels really good. Yeah, and also if you wanted to, you could just go Resonance with Combat Frenzy, and that will give you power charges. But then you won't be able to use the dual charge tech. I mean, technically, you could do dual charge tech with power charges and endurance charges that way. Wow, my hand it disappeared. That's funny because of the microphone. And the dual endurance charges gives you quite a bit of energy shield, but it feels way better with frenzy charges. That's why I like doing it this way. But legitimately, there is a way to make it go in maps that is no issue whatsoever if you use cast on freeze and toss it in there. And to make room for it, you'd have to turn off Grim Feast and sack. That's the way to go about it. I do it this way because it saves on spirit and it works very, very well. You did the budget build and it's great. I'm very happy for you, John Klein. Yeah, that budget build worked fantastic. I was kind of surprised at how well it worked. It took out the bosses no issue. I tried initially doing the boss with like literally no gems to bring it down to 5 div, but then it didn't feel good on the boss at all. All right. You got 1.5k exalts. Oh no, did you try to short the market and sell your divs for exalts and then it kept going up? Elemental Invocation isn't casting? That's weird. Elemental Invocation should cast basically all the time. It's like the best one to go. Do you not have it turned on? Is that the issue? Potentially? Okay, that's what I was doing. Manual Profane, just thought I was doing it wrong. Yeah, I don't mind casting Manual Profane, but if you don't want to, I understand. So, like, if you're worried about having charges at the very start here, like, I don't. I just go in and I rock it. But if you're worried about having charges at the very start, you'd come here, you'd sack these guys, you'd get your charges, boom, full staff, go again, put on Grim Feast, and then you'd rock. And then everything out here, obviously giving you the charges. You could do them on the minions on the ground. Or not minions, the guys on the ground that don't pop. So like here, I got full charges again. It's really easy to keep it up, and the minions here actually take some time. So I'm just going to use my charges and get some more. They're going to fly in. I got good charges again. Really easy to keep this up. Like, yeah. The question isn't, does this do +4 bosses? Because yeah, it makes +4 bosses pack their bags and go home. The question is, how easily does it do it? And how easily does it do Sims? Because I do max level Sims with this pretty well as well. The evasion version of it might be a little easier for Sims. I haven't tested it yet, just because it's pretty nice to literally not have to worry about certain things. If we could at least have skill loadouts. Oh my god, I get so annoyed taking them off and on. Yeah, me too. Me too. Like, they have the weapon swap stuff, so just add a skill loadout too. Just be like, this is the button combos that I want to press for this one. Like, D4 did a lot of things wrong, but they had like the outfit loadouts. That's a big deal. Like, I love Path of Exile. I really love Path of Exile, and I think it's the vastly superior game. But they have a lot of things that they could have improved on, but they're kind of keeping themselves in the retro feel a little too hard. Some things have been improved that they can definitely improve on.
Not yet.
So yeah, I come here, I put on Sacrifice, and that's my swap. And now, if I wanted to, I could swap and get the minions back for getting my charges faster. Oh look, I got a full staff, and I got full everything. They res themselves, the boss comes back. I clear this out because I still have OCD. My staff is going good, I got lots of charges. Minions are there, you hit avatar, and you pop the boss like that. So yes, it definitely can take out the boss. If that didn't answer your question, I don't know what will. The damage is nuts. Absolutely nuts. And people to get that kind of skill or kill speed on Zesht usually need it with Elemental Invocation or like cast on crit or something to get the orbs out to pop the bell. This just... the boss doesn't exist. So, I really hope that answered your question. I don't know if there's a better way to answer it. Yes, Glodian, I did change the build tree. There's been a lot of comments since I started the breach. I will get to them right away. How we auto charge. Another small tip for manual on weapon swap: turn off all auras, but the sack can have. Yeah, yeah, that's the other thing for the auto swap. Say you get really unlucky and the minions all pop when you're trying to do the tech, and so they don't revive each other fast enough because you have corpse conservation. Say they do pop and you aren't able to do it. If you put your skeletons to 0 on weapon swap, there we go, they popped. You swap out, swap back, they all come back alive. It's pretty easy. Igor, this build I made a POB, not a max roll, but I will export a max roll for both of them when I am able to put it down. The first version of this build that will come out is the evasion split, but that's because that was requested first, and so that's what I'll be putting out first. Con of the auto setup, less damage, you can't minion sack, bell, etc. Yeah. Uh, of the auto setup, you can't minion sack bell, but you don't have to use unset. Oh, so you're saying without using skeletal clerics. I understand. So you wouldn't have skeletal clerics or sacrifice, then you'd use cast on freeze and just use the profane in maps, and then you wouldn't be able to pre-charge before something like Arbiter or King of the Mists. I get you. That is definitely a way. It doesn't work on bosses, and it makes me sad because I really want power charge on boss, and I want it before the boss starts. It's important to me because then you can do setups like that feel amazing, and I don't mind doing that at all. Some people do, I don't. And so if you're able to set it up properly, then yeah, you could 100% go cast on freeze, drop skeletal clerics and sacrifice, and instead just put your profane ritual on your cast on freeze, so then you get 2 more slots to run with. Then you could put on something like Wind Dancer for a crazy good evasion, not evasion, a defensive barrier between you and the enemy. But I guess in this case you would be putting on Grim Feast almost certainly. But then you wouldn't need the extra unset ring, that's for sure. Honestly, with how fast that boss died, it was literally a second with Avatar, and I didn't even use Rising Tempest on the bell, so I could have made it even better if I replaced Immolate. So I'm thinking I don't even need to swap to Avatar. I would just straight up use Meditate on here, and he would probably still pop on the first bell. Yes, it's absolutely unreal with 0 evasion. It is ridiculously good with 0 evasion. Yeah, when I'm going to be doing this exact thing in, you know what? I'll do a Simulacrum right now, max level Simulacrum, and show you how good Wind Dancer is against Simulacrums, because that's where I use it. I keep getting only the Zoph's Blood and Pandemoniums. I'm not even getting the Choir of the Storms dropping anymore. I swear they dropped those chances. Is what mandatory though? Clondian, are you talking about? Oh, do we need to keep plus rage on any jewels? No, I don't have any plus rage on any jewels. I actually tried to see if I could fit on a timeless one, the rare that gave plus rage, and I was gonna put it. I think I was gonna put it right here where I have the from nothing, so that I would get the node from martial artistry, and I was gonna try and come down here with one with the storm, but it just like it was a nice quality of life, but it was not needed whatsoever. And I definitely would not put it here because it'd compete with Against the Darkness, and Against the Darkness is just better. And I would not put it here with Heroic Tragedy because there's nothing else to take. There's no real area where I could put a Time Lost that is not going to just take away from the build. So yeah, if you wanted a single plus rage, you could for just the convenience of it, but I don't think it's necessary whatsoever. You kill it like a magic monster? Yes, I do, Gunderbear. It's nuts. This build is absolutely ridiculous. The tech here, where I'm able to save all these passive points and move the controlled metamorphosis from here to here and unlock Wildstorm and all this crit chance, it added so much to the build. Like, such a ridiculous amount. I don't really like rarity. I got these big rarity rings that I was walking around with for a long time, and they're great, but as weird as it is, right now my only rarity is this 19% that I got on here when I rolled off a small life roll or a small accuracy roll. I can't remember what. But yeah, this is an option. Rarity is an option. I just don't really like it, and I only have 33% rarity on my guy right now, entirely from this one ring and the belt. And as you saw on maps, I got 2 divine maps on stream already. I'm getting pretty good drops. I just make sure to have rarity on my maps. That's the only thing that seems to matter. Bloodbane. I mentioned a Flicker variant on stream yesterday. I think it's better on the evasion setup if you drop the dual charge tech. And I hate dropping the dual charge tech, but I used the Flicker variant to give you back the mobility that you would have lost from the movement speed drop. Okay, so unfortunately I can't make it a Christmas tree if I do the lower level Tempest Flurry, but obviously with the lower level Tempest Flurry, I'm going to have infinite mana. And this is kind of important for Simulacrums. I also take out Overcharge and I put in Shock Siphon here.
There's a chill in the air.
And I'll need to take out Innervate for something as well. What happened to Flicker? I was looking forward to adding it to my build. Tell? I have it in a video that's coming out tomorrow. Or tonight. I'm not too certain. I like Medi, and you can opt out of Grim if you want slot. 100%. 100%. I like Meditate a lot as well. Obviously, I grabbed this and I made my weapon slot specifically for Meditate to be faster. So, I agree completely. Meditate's super worth it. So yeah, this here is the... And that's what I do to swap out for Simulacrums. I put Shock Siphon instead of Overcharge on the staff because it's super helpful. I leave all of these on, maybe... No, I'd probably leave Bludgeon. That's a nice little defensive layer. And then you drop Herald of Ice because it does literally nothing. And instead of using Grim Feast, I'm going to use Wind Dancer with 0 evasion. Wherever Wind Dancer is. There it is. I have 2 Wind Dancers, one that's broken. You don't use the broken one. And you can check to make sure it's got Gale Force there. So I will use Inevitable Critical and Leverage to up the crit chance on it. Energy Barrier, so if I get hit, it immediately recharges again. And then Blind is better for the evasion-based version of it. You know what? I wonder if Culmination will work. I bet it will. So that way if I get hit, it does extra damage on top of it. Maim is also really good, so once it pushes them away, they're slower to get back to you. It's not a weapon. It's Skeletal Clerics right here. It's the jewel. Streamer client gives 200% rarity. Yeah, and the quantity, though. That's the big one. How much attributes do I have currently? 349 strength. I wish that was one higher. 376 dex, it gets that 375 breakpoint and 540 int. And this is without an Astromantis. Surely it must come down a little bit. I hope so, Yoshio. I really hope so. It's way too high right now. It's way, way, way too high. Don't like rarity too, but I think I don't know how to properly juice or don't juice enough. The main thing I do is I get like increased number of rares or like increased rarity right there, increased rarity on it. And you try to get the rarity on the map itself. If you can get rarity on the map itself, then that's all the rarity you really need. And then through that, I come through with my tree there. I get basically more rarity by deadly evolution and more rares as well, including more rares this way. Then I take all of these explicit effect of your waystones, which increases the rarity on the waystones, with the increased effect again from the waystones, all this rarity to add to your map's base as well. Quantity on the waystones just so they drop more, but then you get here with the quantity and rarity, which is nice. And then here to get the chance to double it, so if you had like 100% rarity, then you know, it adds more, and then adds more, and then adds more again. Like, this is how I juice my maps, and it works out really well. It works out really, really well. I don't like rarity. Wind Dancer, 100% we're using it. How do you get skill to clerics? Pin works too. Pin works based on your physical damage though, so it's not as good for the stat stacking with using elemental damage, but it definitely does work. There is one thing I really wanted to make work. Really wanted to make work. And I had Bone Cage set to cast on freeze. And I thought this would be amazing for simulacrums because you would have that Bone Cage going around all the time and pinning the mobs. But unfortunately, it did not work. There is a chance that I could have used something like Ice Nova instead. That would have worked better, but I tried with Bone Cage and it did not work at all. I really wanted this to work though. Sacrifice is so easy if you're already doing meditate tech. Out of curiosity, how well does this work with a non-pillar weapon? Oh, non-pillar weapon is not the way to go, and I will show you why. Yeah, I got it not on this one. I think I got it here. No. This one? Yeah, this one. So you see how I got right here 52,745,000 damage? This is the best possible Fizz staff that could ever exist. I have the highest roll physical percent damage, the highest roll flat physical damage to scale it even higher. I got it 20 quality. I have it corrupted for 3 sockets to get another 90% elemental damage in there instead of 60. It's also got the max 5% crit chance, 39 crit damage bonus, and 29 attack speed. This is basically the best thing that could ever exist, and it would be worth many, many hundreds of divines. And if you slot that in over pillar, it drops your damage so much. So ridiculously much. There's nothing that competes with pillar. Yeah. Pillar scales the gloves way too hard. So you don't need to worry about it. Just gonna do this right now. Here's the flicker strike stuff with momentum blind in there. What do I have on here now? I got culmination. I'd probably want maim over culmination, honestly. Go like that, just to slow them down a bit. Then, because I got the lower level Tempest Flurry, I don't even have the 6 slot or Inspiration in there, but we'll be completely fine. Now let's go for a Delirium here. Or a Simulacrum, not Delirium. That's done, right? Yeah. So you'll see just how well this works. The other things that you got to change on here, I accidentally dumped everything a little too soon. And this is specifically for simulacrums. You need to take magnified effect and innervate. Those are the two that you need from your Herald device, along with the shock siphon, I guess, so it's 3 things. You replace concentrated effect with magnified effect on the bell, because what matters is the AoE. And then innervate, probably put that on instead of bludgeon. No, support. It's when it kills a shocked enemy. What would I put it on instead? Because you wouldn't want it on Wind Dancer, obviously. You know what? We'd probably put Innervate just on Tempest Flurry. I took off the one... I guess that's what we would use there. That would be the best in slot way to do this. I've got the currency for it, so why not? I need a perfect Jeweler's Orb. Oopsie.
Hello there.
This is just the easiest way to do it, for sure. About 2 divs now, which is too expensive. But it's cheaper than it was, so that means I need to go with Divines to Exalts first. Jeez, I can't believe how expensive that is. 2 for 489, is that right? Yeah, 489. It'll come up right away. Now I'm at the tippy top of the list. Why are Divines so ridiculously expensive? I don't like that at all. Now we go Exalted Orbs back to Perfect Jeweler's Orb. Perfect Jeweler's Orb, there we go. 1 for 437. Yeah, 1 for 437. Holy, that's expensive. In Exalts. I can't believe, like, these tabs just became basically worthless because of how high Divines are worth right now. Absolutely everything will get 1 hit. Yeah, no kidding. Non-pillar is so cheap when you can afford the 12% increase versus normal 10. Yeah. The other big thing is the hundreds of divine weapon that would be much worse than the pillar is that would be worth hundreds of divines. This pillar, a div, maybe like 2 now if it went up. Yeah, it's just, there's no reason not to go pillar. It's by far the best option. And it's not even close. Yeah, there's no way I can make that pretty, unfortunately, with this. But it'll work. Have you got lightning exposure somewhere to benefit from notable exposed to the storm? Exactly, Sebastian Mars. That's exactly it. Exposed to the storm for the 30% increase. That's the only reason why we have lightning exposure, but it is such a big increase that it's worth it. Oh my god, I love being able to rewind the YouTube stream. Thanks for showing me the comparison with the best staff. This was exactly the convincing I needed to work on stat stacking more. Yeah, exactly, Bloodbane. It is so crazy strong. People aren't slamming near as much as at the start. Why risk it when you can get such good upgrades for the last 50x on trade site? Meh, I just slam. I find it more fun. I used to like crafting in Path of Exile 1, but they didn't really make it a thing in this game, unfortunately. So like here, I max out my energy shield, and then I start the wave with max power charges. And if I get to the point where I want to worry about something, then yeah, I deal with it then. How you do simulacrums? Oh, there's one other thing I forgot to put on. Overabundance is actually really good on Simulacrum specifically, because you want to be able to slam the bell whenever you need, in case you have like the bell over here and you just slam it, but then the bosses start down there. So overabundance is extremely helpful. So boss setup. Where's my overabundance? There it is. Overabundance, extremely, extremely helpful for Simulacrum specifically. So for this, I would take out potential because I don't always have the power charge up on these waves, but I have more than enough for being able to rock everything else. So here, minions are up. There we go. Max charges, max everything. And we're gonna go. I guess I probably should have maxed my energy shield, but oh well. And so how you do Sims, I have a little guide on it. You dance around the bell. You don't hit the bell directly, because if you do, it pops too fast. But if you dance around it, your Hail to Thunder and like the side hits will hit it enough to clear everything. And that's how you stay alive. And if you're wanting minions on your weapon swap too, it's a little janky, but you have to come through all of these. It's probably the Herald here. No, Wind Dancer then. If I take off Wind Dancer, there we go. I still get 2 skeletal minions because of this staff, but that is absolutely not necessary. It's just if you felt like doing it, you could have it. It's just really janky. And it allows you to swap and cast, and it just saves you a little bit of time. But yeah. That is an option. I don't really recommend it though because of how janky it is. But yeah, as you can see, I got my 3 minions running around. They're going to keep me alive pretty well. You dance around the bell, and everything just dies. And the reason why you dance around the bell is because the bosses will target you the moment they become like targetable when they spawn. And if they target you, they can one-shot you with their lightning balls of bullshit. And that will protect you from the lightning balls of bullshit. No, I mean in terms of inflation you were talking about. Oh, I see what you mean. Slamming divs. Yeah. Yeah. Div slamming. There needs to be a sink for it. Because they got rid of crafting, they destroyed the market for long term. There really needs to be the crafting bench to sink divs so that it has a more stabilized cost. Without it, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. It just feels like the most main X sinks at the moment in slamming are on Waystones. Yeah, but at least there is an Exalt sink. Like, you can slam on Waystones. You can try to hit gear if you want to, but for the most part, they're just... Yeah, there's not enough sinks. It's making the small upgrades get too expensive for everybody. If you can't play all the time, the people who do play all the time are ruining it for you, essentially. And I know that because I wasn't always a person who played all the time. Well, after I get this sim done, showing you guys just how easy it can be with this, how nice the minions are to keep you going the whole way through, how much help they give you as well, and damage they give you. Like, What else would you guys like to see? I would love to put more of this together. This one here is coming together a lot nicer and easier than the last one. The evasion one was giving me a little bit of troubles, but this one is definitely working. Also here, if they get you, oh look, Wind Dancer just took them all out. That's how good Wind Dancer is. You just need to be able to get a stack, and then boom, everything's taken out. Wind Dancer is incredibly amazing on pure energy shield if you can have the slot for it. So I think it's better to slot Wind Dancer in than Grim Feast for Simulacrums for this build. Have I done any Arbiters yet? I've done 2. I've done only 2. Neither one of them gave even remotely a little bit of difficulty, but as you can see, I'm trying to get the fragments for more than 2. When I get the other tower, I think it's this one, and I will hammer all those out as soon as I get to it.
Are you trying to cleanse yourself of me?
Yeah, this here, it's really consistent, really consistent. I had one issue last night when doing a test for max level sim, and it wasn't because the sim was difficult, it was because the sim was bugged. Oh my god. I didn't even hit him with the bell, that was just my normal attacks. Like the shockwaves did that. The issue I had was because after the boss died, it threw the purple sword that spins in the air, and it didn't go away, so I had to keep avoiding the purple spinny sword because it was just constantly chunking through everything, and there's nothing I could do about it till it despawned. That's the only issue I had. And when your only issue is the game is bugged, it's not really an issue with the build. Yeah, the weapon damage corrupt is by far the best one. It's not even close. Yeah, it's 200% increased damage or 12% crit damage, and 200% increased damage at 500. Actually, it's more than 200. It's like, what, 220% increased at 500? It's, or 240, I guess. It's so much damage. It is so much damage. Of course, there's no difficulty with the build. It's literally broken, and like 70% players phase playing it. Well, it's not that so much. It's that when you start completely hyper tweaking your build to be amazing, that's when it starts to feel broken. But it's definitely overtuned, and it will be getting nerfed next season, but doesn't mean you can't make things better and make things better for everybody else. Like, this is showing, I could say, hey, yeah, get Astramentus, wear the Warrior and the other helmet, and your damage will be like 200 million or whatever it will be. But this one here is, hey, this stuff isn't jumping up off the scale in price yet, and it gives more damage than what an Astramentus would give you with no loss. So, like, this is the kind of thing I'm trying to share to people. It's tech that people aren't talking about or doing yet. It still does damage in that spot if it despawns. Oh, you're talking about the spinny sword? Yeah, the sword kept moving, though. That was the awkward thing. It was following me around everywhere, and I did not like that.
Nothing you do matters. The dream will end, and the dreamer will pass into the next world.
There we go. This one is the first, like, legitimately hard wave because they can swarm you so fast, and that's why you gotta spam the bells, and it's also why Wind Dancer is so good on it. Wind Dancer is incredible. Like, obviously I'm getting tagged a little bit, by like the projectiles and stuff, or like ground effects. I'm not too sure what it is, but it's not enough to be an issue. Like, it hasn't even gotten through my overcap. And I didn't even charge it between waves, so like if I did that, then great. There we go.
No escape.
Well, I got stunned, so the Wind Dancer went off and took everything out. This build can do tier 4 bosses with 5 div gear. Common is... it's not okay. Yeah, you're right. It can do it. I proved it. Except for it was 7 div gear, but yeah. It's... yeah. It didn't used to be this price, though. The only reason why it's 5 div gear is because we are able to do that, and so it's brought the price down on things like the gloves, for example. Those gloves used to be about 20 div. 7 div for a basic pair is like 2 div now. The ones that are 20 div are like 8 div now. It's gone down a lot in price. This didn't used to always be an attainable build for everybody. So the one positive side of us being able to nuke everything is bringing the prices down of the common gear. Like, I know you're hating on it pretty hard, but you don't need to be hating on it. It's just the state of the game right now. And so we are going to play with what's available. When Penance Branded Dissipation was broken in Path of Exile 1, we used it in Path of Exile 1 because it was amazing. It was nerfed the next season, but that doesn't mean it was gone. It's still a decent build. It's just, it wasn't the crazy world-ending ability that it was in that one season. So yeah, instead of just hating on builds, just enjoy what's available. Play what's fun. I'm playing what's fun, that's all I care about. Yeah, right. If you press ! build, it will give you the build guide right now. It's not fully finished yet. This here is going through a few testing things right now, but overall, the one that I have in there is pretty much exactly what I'm using now. There's a few small changes, but it's close enough. When I make the build video for this, I'll be posting it probably in a couple days, and I'll have all the information there. Like, yeah, this update that I've done has really made simulacrums a lot easier. They are the hardest content in the game, and a lot of builds, even the tippy toppest ones, still have problems, and this is making it actually kind of not safe, but not nearly as scary as it used to be. Let's say that. Like, I haven't died on a sim in a while. Maybe it's because I learned how to dance around the bell better. Because, like, when the bosses come, it's bad. See, like, those lightning bolts are bad. As soon as the boss comes, you just run away from it, and boom, you're safe. But if I were to let those lightning bolts hit me, it would have one-shot me. But instead, here I am just understanding the concept of, like, what's going on, and it's no issue whatsoever. We're on the last wave right now. So, last wave, get your power charges, charge your staff up, and then get your energy shield, and you're rocking it. Yeah, like, I don't think the 5 div version of the build will be able to do tier 4 simulacrums, but it could probably do tier 1 and tier 0. Because right now, as you can tell, this is feeling really good. once you put your currency into it. Like, it really rewards everything that you put into it. You know what? I haven't gotten anything but the chest piece or this helmet except for one time, and that one time was the mana potion back when it was worth something that made me happy. But now I'm only ever getting these damn helmets. Yeah, I'm okay, good. It's back alive. Come on, come on. Options, options. Multi-threading off. It survived. It survived. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh my god. Oh, I thought for sure. Oh man, I thought for sure this was dead. Oh, multi-threading. How I hate you multi-threading errors right now. Can I fix the video? That's the question. There's a chance the video might be popped, but holy crap. Oh, I was scared. It froze so hard. I need to get the good camera back on, though. Come on, work. You can do it. Yes! We're back. We did it. We did it. Multi-threading didn't kill us this time. Oh, man. Multi-threading is the true end boss of Path of Exile 2. It looks like my Nvidia might be semi-crashing again, so let's see what happens. I might lose audio and video if it continues to do what it's doing. We live in, Cam. Oh. And yes, Garrett, I will continue to teach people how to do this. I want people to have fun. Make bluff farming better for you. It makes it better for everybody. Audio popping. Okay. It should be better now. Did that fix it? What we need to do is harass GGG to fix the 10 attributes we're losing next to our Verana. It's not just the Verana, it's also with the controlled metamorphosis, because we're losing this one too. It's 15 attributes. GGG. This is the #1 thing you need to fix. Before you fix balancing in the builds, fix the radius support stuff. Oh man, I'm so happy that this is alive. I thought for sure it was dead. I was 100% certain it was dying, and I was ready to pull the plug again. I was so sad. What we need to do, yeah. In PoE Uncrasher, it's just a program you open before you start PoE 2. It will hold 4 cores on loading screen to prevent PC crashes, and instead will close the game. You can also save crash. Oh, thank you, Jason Wagner. Thank you. I'm going to get PoE Uncrasher then. PoE 2 Uncrasher. Is this it? Oh, sorry. I'm probably blinding you guys. Sorry. Sorry. I don't want to flashbang you. Can you make a cheap divine build for multi-threading? Oh, yeah, I know, right? Cheap divine build for multi-threading. Just go work at GGG. Yeah, Simrums have been my builds, been biggest struggle. Well, I hope this helped you then, Ride. Exactly, because stat stackers need to be buffed. Boop, stop spamming symbols? Why would that? Oh, come on. Nightbot, you're being a dink. Let's see here. Can I change Nightbot a little bit? Because symbols should be okay. Where's rules in here? Rules. Got commands. Logs. Regulars. Songs. I'm gonna have to figure this out later because right now I don't quite know how to put this together, but yeah. I gotta do a little bit more research with Nightbot. It's given me some default rules that I do not agree with. You guys deserve to be able to make some happy noises. You can tag in Discord, check general Discord. Okay, I'm opening it right now. General. All the way to the bottom. Thank you so much. Okay. How to use. Grab the release from the releases page. Unzip. Run executable. Okay. Unzip. Probably just run. I don't need to extract it. Because if I'm instantly... Yeah, you know what? Run anyway. If you switch between game clients, waiting for Path of Exile process to launch before doing anything. Note that if you... Okay, so that means I need to close it and start it up now. Okay. So opening this up, I need to close it and start it up now. I'm going to quickly close it and open it back up. I have not had a single Megalomaniac drop yet. All of mine that I've gotten have been from trade. And I tried to find pretty much the perfect ones, and I think I got a really, really good one. I've done... I don't even know. I've probably done at least like 6 simulacrums max level on stream, plus several off stream for testing. And nothing seems to really affect it. Okay, so detected loading screen failed but cannot find any process. Loading is done, falling back from real time. Okay, so that's the uncrasher. So that means I can run with multi-threading. I guess we're going to test it. We're doing it in real time. Thank you again so much. Also, your name in Discord is hilarious. I was worried at first when I saw it, but you're a good dude. You also have some pretty solid build in, what's the word I'm looking for? Intuition. So I like it. So this is interesting. Does weapon damage also include if you val and land on weapon damage? Yeah. That's how you get it. You need to corrupt it. You val it to get the 12% increased weapon damage. Drop in this. Oh, excuse me, disenchant for the chant shard, because that chant shard could turn into an Astromentus. Could even be a boat. What you chewing on there, baby girls? What you chewing on? Nothing? What? How did you do that? Okay, so I'm gonna... I don't think it'll show up on camera, but I want to show you guys something. The little girl buried her bed underneath the big girl's bed, and she's using it like a blanket. I hope this shows up. I don't know if it will. Can it? There. It's janky, but look at that. What is she doing? What are you doing, little girl? Why did you do that? The thoughts of a puppy. I will never understand it. But you know what? She's really proud of it. Oh, hey, Bebs. You heard attention was to be had and you're gonna come for attention? Yes, you are. Good girl, Beverly. Well, you know what? The little girl went on camera. Time to show off the big girl, too. Oh, yes, both of you? Both of you at the same time? Here you go. Oh, that's not working at all. So that's not working. We're going to try a little something something. Don't crash this thing here. Let's just turn off this effect for now. There we go. Here's the big girl. Oh, yes, Beverly. Oh, yes, Beverly. And then there's the uno dos also coming in for the attentions. Oh, yes, girls. Yes, girls. Oh, hi. Hello. Hello. Yes, baby girls. Yes, baby girls. Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, they decided that they need attention. And because they decided that they need attention, I'm going to go give them a little treat. Yeah, oh yes, good girls. Good girls. Here you go. Put this back on. I'll be right back. I got to give them something nice to chew on. Okay, see you guys in like 30 seconds. So good. You deserve all the treats. So Beverly, you get a big one. And Uno, you are the little girl. You get two, Pablo. You're a good kitty. Mm-hmm. Good kitty, Pablo. Ow! Just bonked my knee on the table. Alrighty. So, what gems do I run on Meditate besides Ingenuity? What do you mean? I don't run any gems on Meditate. And I don't run any gems on Avatar either because I'm swapping back and forth from them so often that I'm just using it as is right now. If I were to use gems on Meditate, though, there are some really good ones. Like, obviously, you got Ingenuity. Where is the other one? I believe I have it on Wind Dancer right now. Yeah, Energy Barrier is really good as well, so that if you get hit while using it, you will continue to recharge. Then you can also use what I have on here, Arcane Tempo, to make it cast a little faster. Those are all good options for Meditate. Then you could also use something like Wind Wave, so that in theory, if you get hit while using it, wherever I have it set up here. I thought I had it in here, but I guess not. But if you hit or get hit and Wind Wave goes off, then that will knock enemies back and keep you protected as well. So this is interesting. Does weapon damage also include if you val? Yep. The weapon damage includes everything. Absolutely everything. The Uncrasher saved my PC, and rather than just close the application, which is far less work. Yeah. I was getting so worried with my PC constantly at booting off when I made the mistake of leaving multi-threading on. Bloodbane, you're going to plug fire damage into your POB real fast. Are you talking about the fire damage from my Against the Darkness jewel? Or are you talking about from on the jewel, or on the rings? Or are you talking about the fire damage from Infernal Legion? I'm not too sure what you're talking about fire damage. There's a lot of fire damage. Only 100 away from Astromantis. I know, right? 100 divs away. But I'm getting there. Oh man, if this was like 2 weeks ago, I'd be able to afford it now. But as it is, Astromantis is so ridiculously expensive that it's becoming an issue. Becoming a real issue. You know what? It's got the stun threshold in there, so it is never going to sell for anything worthwhile. Rarity of items. Sure, why not? Drop that just to get rid of it, essentially. It does not reach the Waystone, I do not believe. Or the words are difficult. The Citadel, not the Waystone, the Citadel. And yeah, we're going to hit this guy, then come in here. We might hit the towers, so that way we can bump the Waystone drop chance, but I don't really think it matters. We're just going to use a decent Waystone map. Okay, so because I have swapped out of... you know what? I'm going to leave that in. I'm going to keep Meditate in and not have Grim Feast, so that way I can keep it out for the little bit. I think this will be fine. I'm going to bring Herald of Ice in, obviously, because we're mapping. And to do that, I sacrifice Wind Dancer. So now to put that in, I put the magnified effect back on. Like the only downside of doing a whole bunch of content back and forth is the swaps. If I could just stay in Sims all day, I'd keep with the Sims set up, or if I could stay in maps all day, I'd stay with the map set up. But yeah, conduction, potential on the bell to drop over abundance. I don't need inspiration, cold mastery for here. Where, oh where? My good stuff. Oh, howdy do, Barrett. Thank you so much. You became a member of the channel. You're my main doot now. Welcome to the group. Do you actually get any evasion from Wind Dancer if you don't have body? It's literally just, it's not even the knockback. The knockback doesn't matter. It's the damage from Gale Force. It clears screens. Like, it legitimately clears screens and works with Herald of Ice if you use it in maps. But the knockback and the damage saves you in Simulacrum, so you don't get chain stunned and surrounded. It's really, really powerful for Simulacrums. And for mapping in general as well, but I'm using this tech. Herald of Ice, Magnified, Conduction, Cold Mastery. What were the other things? I need Innervate. Where's my Innervate? Right here. And I think I had another blue one. Can't even remember what I used for the last of it. I gotta look up my own planner. I can't remember what I have in here for this. I'm blanking. Skills, Herald of Ice, Shock Siphon. That's what it was. Shock Siphon for the little bit of survivability. There, and then Herald of Thunder didn't get touched, so it doesn't move anything. I'm guessing it's about Heroic Tragedy. You lack that one. You're talking about the amount of... Okay, sorry, I gotta go up here. You stumbled upon your latest version of POB of this build and fell in love, but I'm a bit lost with the current one showing the lone Iron Reflexes node down there in the tree. Mind explaining it? Sure, Andrade. We are rocking a Megalomaniac to get Jack of all trades, and we are using the From Nothing diamond with Iron Reflexes so that we can get Polymathy with these all attributes and this nice authority gem. And then the Megalomaniac gives us Jack of all trades, and so we get all of this and we save 17 points pathing down here, or maybe even 19 because we moved the Verona Jewel, and we're no longer getting the Maiming Strike either. Support gems on Wind Dancer. Inevitable critical, so whenever it pops off, it's basically a guaranteed crit. I mean, it is almost like a guaranteed crit. Leverage for the increased critical hit chance against Immobilized, so in my thought process, the first enemy will get hit, and then Herald of Thunder will go off and freeze things, and it should count as Immobilized. If knockback counts as well? No. Frozen, pinned, heavy stun, electrocuted, so it's a good chance that some stunning will go off with the freezing will go off with the damage, and so that will give you more critical hit chance again. And so with this one on, I think I'm at, and not counting Explosive Storm, by the way, I think I'm at 78% crit chance, and then this would give me what, like an extra 7 or 8%. Then Energy Barrier, so that if you get hit, your energy shield keeps popping, and Maim, so that the guys who get pushed away and who don't die aren't fast enough to come back to hit you. Sacrifice, Cult of Clerics, Profane Ritual, the Bell, Conk Effect, Potential. That's alright. That's alright. So now I just need to put in my Jazz for the Tempest Flurry, which is not... I need Overcharge, wherever that went. Okay. It was another red one then. What was the other red one? Not Inspiration. I had another one in mind. I was doing Inspiration before. Lightning exposure is there. Overcharge is there. Rage is there. And again, I gotta go back to my planner. Moving things around so much. Martial tempo. Do I not have martial tempo in there? I do. Rage. Overcharge. Lightning exposure. Oh, no, it wasn't the knockback. And I took primal armament out. See, I should have been writing this down. I had another good one in there. Oh, right, I wasn't even using a sixth one. I was only using 5 in here because I just had the sixth one in for when I needed to do Simulacrum, so that way I could get Shock Siphon on. That's right. I mean, yeah, I could definitely put Primal Armament on to get more damage, and then I can put Close Combat on the bell. That's probably the easiest way to go about it. Let's do that. Close Combat. There we go. Now we got a little bit more Tempest Flurry damage if you needed it. I mean, we could also put Close Combat on Tempest Flurry. Let's see what it's like with that increased mana cost. Yeah, it's not really an issue, but 15 mana to 13? Yeah, I don't really... Actually, you do feel that quite a bit. That is a lot less. This is basically infinite in maps. The other one, you might need to use a potion. Alrighty, so... Fire damage, Darkness Jewel. Do you think fire damage on Ring Emulate Clerics is needed? Not needed with it on Darkness Jewel. It's just... there is actually better Darkness Jewels than this one. It's this one cost me 9 Divine, whereas if I got the best one, it does a little bit less damage. If I did 4% Strength, 4% Int, that's like 60 Div, and it will give a little bit less damage, but way more AoE. And then the best one for just straight damage would be 4% Strength, 4% Lightning damage, but... I didn't have a lightning damage one. I saw a fire damage one, and that's what I grabbed. So yeah, especially with having Wildstorm here, let's just check and see how much more damage it would be with this. So this is the energy shield one. If I were to go with my items here, and I went with the Against the Darkness here, how I got as extra fire damage. If I edit this, instead of fire damage, I do lightning damage. So I go from 52,745, if this will save, like literally an extra 500,000, 600,000 damage. Lightning damage is a lot more. But I was able to afford a fire damage one. And I saw a fire damage one and I grabbed it. And they were 4%, 4%, so that's nuts. This version requires 3 unique Jills. That's like 60 divs. Yeah, exactly. This one here is really expensive. It's got the Heroic Tragedy. It's got Against the Darkness. It's got this one that's only a div at least. Then it's got Megalomaniac, and it's got From Nothing. They are very incredibly powerful jewels, but they are also very expensive. If you're at the point where you're starting to think about, do I want to get an Astromantis, then this is the best upgrade path to go for you because it's way, way, way cheaper and gives you more effect than what an Astromantis would do. But if you're at the point where you're trying to just start out, go use the one on my max roll instead. The max roll one is much more attainable. That one was like 50 div total with really good gear. This belt is like 20 div. This is a little bit more now because I got the 12% or 1 to 12 lightning damage. This is like a div. And don't worry about the Heroic Tragedy yet. I did a literally 7 div version of this, and it was able to clear tier 4 breach with no issue whatsoever. Like, there are cheap versions to do this, but I am trying to maximize this right now because I have done the cheap version, and I will let you know exactly what you guys need to upgrade first. Like, you need the weapon, you need the gloves, but that's 3 divines. 2 to 3 divines. And then after that, you need to have good base defenses with your res is capped. Try to get attributes on it if you can. All the attributes stack for crazy amounts. You need amazing rings. The rings are the most important thing after your gloves and your weapon, because you're going to want to try to eventually get an ingenuity. When you do get an ingenuity, even a 50% ingenuity is better than any other belt that could possibly drop for you. Ingenuity is incredible. After that, you're going to want to get all your jewels to have some attributes on it. If you can get attributes on the jewel, that adds so much for the long term. And these, I got all my jewels for 1 div each with pretty decent stats. You can find them. People are selling these for 1 div each. Then I made this crazy upgrade to save all these points, because I'm trying to make the build into something kind of special that's still, the entire cost of my build is less than 1 Astramentus, but it's still extremely expensive. So be careful if you're wanting to go for this. If you're not rich, you won't be able to afford everything yet, but it is definitely attainable if you are at the point where you're looking to get Astramentus already. If you're trying to just start out, go for the other versions of the build that I already have posted. They work and they are amazing. Oh, my screen's a little bit bigger. Thank you for the heads up. I didn't realize that. I appreciate you. That was a good point out. Have you seen the Heroic Tragedy variant that modifies notables to add 40% ES? Yeah, mine allows Maiming Strike to be 40% increased energy shield. And when I had the Controlled Metamorphosis here, the large, it was hitting it, so it was pretty wonderful. But I have since taken it off because I wanted to put Controlled Metamorphosis here to get Wildstorm, Exposed to the Storm, and Serrated Edges. And I feel like this is kind of wonderful. But now you use Primal Armament and Bell. Rage, Primal Armament. Yeah. I mean, Primal Armament in Bell is amazing. Close Combat is also pretty good too, because I'm using it for bossing mostly. Primal Armament on Bell is better for Sims, because it's the entire AoE and not just when you're close. So there is a lot of leeway. You can play with things. I would definitely say this is the better way to go about it, just for everybody's content. So if I'm going to show for everybody, this is the way I put it in with inspiration. So literally, I got 7 mana per swing. My mana will literally never go down. I could do this all day, every day. Just hold left click and it will be fine. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it here with inspiration in Tempest Flurry so that people can see that that's the best way to go. And then Primal Armament and Bell is just really quite nice. And it doesn't have the huge mana cost increase of Close Combat, so this adds a bunch as well. Okay, now, yeah, runes on the weapon. Rune weapons are crit damage. And, yeah. Oh, Enigma Gaming already got that for you. Strength, fire damage, arms as well. Again, I don't even remember what it's called here. Against the Darkness. Why was it AWS? Wondering if I can swap fire damage on Ring but still use the scaling for Bell with the Jewel Fire. Yeah, you definitely can, because like here I got really good fire damage. This is the only fire damage I have on here. You should still have enough. It should still be okay. But you see the flat damage on Ring scales like nuts. Like absolutely nuts in there. So it's better to have the flat fire damage. For sure. And gloves and belt already. Cost you 4 div to get the budget build rolling good. I was getting frustrated, but this build turned it around 180. You're very welcome, John Klein. Like honestly, I'm happy that it actually helped out. I was looking forward to putting that one out. I wanted people to actually see how good it could be on a real strict budget kind of thing. Gabriel, you cannot get Jack of all trades just from nothing, but that is where the Megalomania came in. That is why I put that in there. I get Jack of all trades from Megalomaniac, and it is very, very good. And J Turpin, you don't need evasion. I got 600 whole evasion rating. I'm not avoiding anything. Oh, I've already got a map open? Silly me. Oh, we're well, proof of concept work. Can you hear me? The uncrasher worked, if you can hear me. Alrighty. Are we back? I think the uncrasher worked. We're still alive. My camera still died, but we're still alive. Yeah, that uncrasher just saved my computer. Perfect. Thank you, Sniper, for letting me know. I was worried. I wasn't too sure if it was or not. My NVIDIA camera seems to be hating life right now, though. Well, I'm going to turn off the camera because if you guys can see me, that's the most important bit. It seems that, yeah. Oh, sorry. The video's not actually frozen, it's just here. I haven't opened it yet. We have to open the game again. How about now, Jason? Is it still frozen or was it just on the wrong screen? But like, yeah, seriously, how have they not fixed that? This is not the first time I've lost to the hideout loadout. It's crashed it multiple times. It's really bad, this multi-threading crash. So even with the unfreezer, I might not be able to play with multi-threading on. Hide. Oh man, Jackson, you have saved the stream though. Disable engine multi-threading and log back in. Now let's see here. Yeah, my NVIDIA is straight up broken. Yeah, last night we were rocking a really good stream and then it crashed and oh man, I felt bad. There's like 130 or 120 people at the time and just it crashed and lost everybody. That's not cool at all. Yeah, like it's ridiculous. A PC should not have to be reset that often. It's how has GGG not fixed this? This should be their number one issue to fix. Like 100% this should be the number one. Yeah, a big game like PoE should not have this kind of issue at all. Yeah, they have more than enough money from all the microtransactions or the macro transactions, however you want to call it, and literally no reason for this to be an issue this long. Oh, look at that. An inscribed ultimatum and a Jambalaya? We're rich. Did some digging, and apparently it's an issue with the most recent Windows update that was... Yeah, the 24H2. I tried to downgrade my 24H2 to 23, and because I did it so many months ago, it's too late for me. I can't downgrade again. A lot of people can, but I cannot. I can't even... Like, I tried everything. It's just not doable for me. Hey, on the flip side, yeah, it was Streamer Client to get those couple divs, but Streamer Client also hard crashing the PC, so maybe maybe a regular client is the way to go. Ooh, White Stellar. Hell yeah. Gonna try and stockpile those until we get at least, say, 10, and then do them all on camera. It's not nearly as many as I'd like to do, but I mean, doing them one at a time is only turning them to dust. It will prioritize game over Windows, so it will dedicate the entire PC to PoE2, hence Windows and the whole PC crashing. Well, that's stupid. If only PoE could be like, use all threads -1. So therefore, if you have a core, you are not going to crash your computer. It is pretty cool that the program works so well, though. Yeah, the thing was still frozen, it still crashed my NVIDIA, but I mean, I'll take that over like having to hard reset my PC every time. I had that happen to me last night when I was finishing some video editing for the build video as I was exporting everything, and then it hard crashed, and I was so afraid I lost everything. But luckily there's a cache, so I didn't lose it all. But oh, I was so scared. I was so scared I thought it was gone. I guess I don't have sack on me. And that sounds funny out of context. Yeah, this guy here has crazy damage resistance. As you can see, it just like straight up stops taking damage for a while. But luckily I'm able to keep up with him and just keep attacking him. Very slowly whittle him down when we are able to attack him again. This is beautiful. Oh, I'll still chance him. Like, the Exalts are great for being able to afford an Astromentus, but I don't know. You don't play PoE if you don't want to gamble. Gambling is like half the game. At 24H2 already. Good thing I need to avoid that for a while, yeah. Just at least fix it so the game crashes, not PC. I can't believe that Windows hasn't made an update if it's 100% on their end, though. Like, this is such a massive game, they should put out a quick patch so that it changes that. They come fast, they come hard. Your words in Simulacrum videos. Truer words were never spoken. I could also say story of my life. Let's see here. Is there any other mobs in this map? Am I done? I don't think I'm done the map. There it is. Oh, they're split up. Split apart. Well, luckily I'll get to them quick. But yeah, the other good thing is, if you got the frenzy charges, this is faster than just walking. But then you get hung up on terrain sometimes. Come on, there we go. This map is the worst for getting stuck on terrain. Like, legitimately, if we could just get, like, one PoE, one leap slam kind of ability that you're able to get over that, then great. But lock it behind a 60 or a 60 spirit cost blink and then have a cooldown, that's just sucky. Well, Jackson, if I ever don't make those kinds of out-of-pocket innuendos, then something has happened to me. I have been swapped with a doppelganger. Call the authorities, save me. I love making those kinds of comments. If you've ever watched Archer, the best jokes they have are all the phrasing jokes. You know, I don't know how, but my Nvidia is still hard frozen and I cannot get back the camera for you guys. I'd love to, but it's just gone. I mean, there is one way I could go about it. Honestly, let's try it. It'll be a little bit derpy, but it's better than what we got going. Let's fix the camera here. Webcam on. That is the frozen mess of a camera, but we're going to change this to this. See if it works. Come on. No, it's not working. That's surprising. I thought for sure that would work, but I guess not. Don't tell me Streamlabs is hating life now. Yeah, Streamlabs is hating life now. What the heck? Because I tried to swap to my other camera. That's funny. Well, oh wow. Multi-threading is absolutely killing this right now. I am so sad. I can't even turn off the derp face. Lucas Stevens, the budget version could probably clear tier 0 and tier 1 simulacrums. After that, it will get very difficult, and it'll already be difficult with the extreme budget version of it. The version that is in the Walking Bonk 4 video there, it can definitely clear simulacrums. I've done a bunch of them. See here, will this work with NVIDIA? Probably not the best idea to do that. I need to go with the Streamlabs specifically. I don't know which one is stuck. I got a crash handler for Streamlabs, but it's not doing its job. Well, that is just being silly right now, and I can't even move it or do anything. You're fine with spending like 20 to 30 divs? If you're fine with spending 20 to 30 divs, you'll get the belt, the gloves, the weapon, and you'll get decent gear there, and you will be in great shape. You will be in great shape, and you can do basically anything. That will 100% be able to do tier 0 and tier 1 sims, and that will get you like the Man of Potions and stuff like that. No problem at all. Yeah, hence your name in Discord. Your name in Discord is definitely one that's memorable, Jackson. 100%. Oh man. Well, unfortunately, with how the stream is not handling the crashing very well from the multi-threading, I think we're going to have to stop it here with regards to testing more content. I was really wanting to do the map here and go all the way to the Citadel, get that done with you guys, and then do a couple of Arbiters. That might have to be tomorrow, though, because it's not letting me fix anything. I'm going to have to restart my PC anyways, but at least it's going to be a healthy reset. So before I end the stream, I'd love to know if you guys have any other questions. What would you like to know about? Anything I can answer. If you want me to price check things, this is the time. But yeah, we've definitely went over the tree in detail here and showed you a little bit of everything. Showed you the concept. Like this worked extremely well. This felt better than the evasion version one, I think, because you didn't have to swap as much and it felt more natural of an upgrade from the Walking Bonk 4 to this. I really like this a lot. I think this was kind of fantastic. All right, well, how do you press check stuff? I use something called Sidekick. It's a great app. I'm trying to get it to pop up. You know what? I'll just pop it up this way. When I go to press, say, Control D on this item, or maybe because everything is crashing, it doesn't want to price check now. Oh man, everything is just hurting right now for the game. Yeah. But yeah, it's an app called Sidekick. It shows you similar items and then allows you to go through them on the actual website. It's pretty great. You're very welcome, Konu-san. I just got to the stream. Is this build better than the original, or is it a transition? User, it is definitely a transition that is better than the original. I did one yesterday that was evasion and energy shield, and this one here is focusing entirely on energy shield. And I honestly think this one feels a little better. It gives a ton more damage, and it doesn't rely on having a good Verona jewel. You can just have any Verona jewel. And yeah, it steamrolled everything. I lost about 1,000 energy shield to gain about 50% more damage. That is kind of the long and the short of it. And it also reduced mana cost and increased attack speed, increased mobility. Yeah, it's got amazing attributes on it. It's really, really well optimized. I like this version a lot. And if you needed even more mana cost reduction, you could get mental toughness for 15% reduced mana costs. So right before I end it, what you need for this complete swap, I have the heroic tragedy with Verona, so you can get the circular teachings. It is a ridiculous amount of energy shield. It is 3,500 energy shield with my 489 strength on the gear that I have. It is crazy good. You're going to have 3 rare jewels that you want to have attributes corrupted onto it. You also want maximum energy shield as additional stun threshold. It feels really good. One of them you'll want mana on kill, and the rest of them you'll, for the mods, the only other mods you really care to look for is increase maximum energy shield, critical hit chance, or critical hit damage. Those are the only ones that really matter. Critical hit chance and maximum energy shield being the most important. And then obviously the energy shield is stun threshold, but that was already stated. So that's this one here. This one here has good critical hit chance, energy shield, stun threshold, dexterity. This is my best jewel. And then this is another incredibly good jewel with critical hit damage, energy shield, stun threshold, and big dex as well. You will also need a controlled metamorphosis with medium large. With the medium large, you're able to hit on this node here, Wildstorm and Exposed to the Storm. You use Exposed to the Storm because we're going to put on lightning exposure. It does nothing for damage increase for the pen or for the exposure. That doesn't matter at all. What does matter is 30% increased critical hit chance. Then you're also going to get serrated edges for another 10% critical hit chance and some increased attack damage. It's really nice. If you have mana issues, you can get mental toughness. It is fantastic. 15% reduced mana cost is fantastic as long as you don't go low. you're going to manually path through here. You could also come down here if you want it to look a little bit better and drop these 2 notes instead. It looks more aesthetically pleasing, so I'm going to do that right now. Refund these 2. Put this on for strength, this on for strength. Refund. Don't pretend like I don't have this. What the heck? That's weird. This one's glitched. Refund passives. Oh, that's really weird. Strength and strength. Good. Now I can refund these. Perfect. Now I get that on. That just looks more aesthetically pleasing, so I'm going to go that way. And so for the uniques, obviously I said the Verona. You're going to need Megalomaniac with Jack of all trades. So that way, when you save all these points pathing down here, you're able to get it. And you're going to need a From Nothing with Iron Reflexes. So that's Iron Reflexes. It allows you to get this Polymathy, all these attributes, and this Authority Jewel. It's incredibly good value for points on the tree. And then finally, the last thing you're going to want is an Against the Darkness. I have 4% increased strength and some added damage as extra because it is quite a bit of damage. It does more than giving you intelligence for damage, but intelligence would increase the AoE. So overall, intelligence would be the best way to go, but that's also like literally 10 times the price. And so here we take for the Jugular, True Strike, we anoint our amulet with Spaghettification, so that way we get the increased attributes, and then the double increased attributes plus fire damage there, and then we also get it from Deep Trance. It's a nice node to tank that reduces your cost of skills and gives you all those extra bonuses. So also gives you like 14% attack speed. It's quite nice. And then finally, you definitely want to take as much energy shield as possible, as well as all the crit chance you can get. Crit chance is key and king. It scales your damage nuts with Sunder My Enemies. So now, for the last of the comments, I'm glad I could actually go through this in detail, help you guys out. This is going to be into a build guide in the next couple days. I actually really like this version. I like it more than the Evasion Energy Shield version. There's more freedom and more damage, more stats, and it's incredibly, incredibly survivable. I love this one. Like, honestly, this is the way that I'm going to continue playing. I'm surprised at how good it feels. You like my new ventriloquist act. Thank you very much. Oh, man. It's terrible. I can't fix the camera right now unless I shut down the stream, so that's why we're ending it here. But, yeah, Garrett, it's definitely rough right here at the end. And thank you again, Jackson. And sorry for calling you Jason. That's my bad. I'm trying to read things really fast. And I mess up words all the time. I was calling a friend who I know in personal life wasted instead of waste. And I was surprised that I was getting that wrong because it's right there in front of my face too. So again, that's a me problem. I need to work on that. But thank you for hanging with me. You got an Emerald with 14% increased attack damage, 2% movement speed, 25% increased herald damage. It's honestly pretty good, Rick Damon. 2% move speed is the best that you can get for the Emeralds, but you would want to replace that one 100%. The best thing to get for the green jewels is, like you have on there, the movement speed is number 1 because that's some pretty good utility. And right up there is the critical hit chance. Everything else after that doesn't matter as much. Attack speed is kind of nice, but critical hit chance and movement speed are the top 2. And you definitely need a corrupted attribute on there. The issue is you can't get the energy shield as stun threshold, and so if you have too little of it, it will hurt. But that's still a very good jewel, and so don't worry about replacing that too soon. Is the energy shield version safe to use if you don't have Verana yet, or should I stick to EVES? That's I can't really answer that one too much, Bloodbane. I felt that it was definitely very survivable as just pure energy shield when I did the low div tech, but it will always feel better with the Verana. It adds such a massive layer of survivability that I recommend when you can get it, do it. But if you were to replace out the Verana, you just get another jewel like this with more maximum energy shield, or I guess not like that one, but like this one with maximum energy shield. You'd want like crit chance and like the stun threshold. They're all super helpful. Yeah, it'll be a lot less energy shield, but you'll also get like the crit chance, the stun threshold, and the attributes. So it will definitely be very good. Talwis, just send it to my in-game. This is my name in-game. If you send it to me, I will look at it right now. Afterwards, I will be popping off pretty quick. How much are all the jewels together, like the unique ones? So they have gone up in price, but I will tell you exactly what I paid for them. So I paid 12 div for this, 1 for this, so 13, 25 for this because it's so good. So that is now 38. I paid 9 for this, so 47. 1 for this, so 48. 20 for this, so 68. 1 for this, so 78. 1 for this, 67. 1 for this, so 68. I paid 68 divine for all of these jewels combined. However, this from nothing seems to have gone up, and this Verona jewel has gone up a lot since I bought it. This is like, I think 40 div now, and this from nothing has went up from 20 to 30, and I only bought this a few days ago. So yeah, it's like 100 div in the jewels now, but I paid 68 for all of mine. With all the profane uses, have you tried the suffix on sapphires that increases damage if you consumed a corpse recently? I have tried it. And it's good on the early game, but when you get so much increased damage from the Pillar of the Cage Gods, it doesn't really do too much for you. It's definitely better now that I'm using Profane Ritual. I thought it would work with Grim Feast, but it did not. I don't think that you're actually consuming the corpse with Profane Ritual, though. It's more for something like Corpse Eater. And I don't think we do any of that because it does not work with Grim Feast, so I don't think it actually works with Profane Ritual. Either way, it's increased damage, so it's not going to do as much for you, even as like just getting 5 strength is going to be better than getting increased damage if you consumed a corpse recently. And what passives would you use for budget build without the expensive jewels? The same one that I have in my planner for the walking bonk for, where you come down here and scroll this way, and then you just get more of these jewels, more good jewels like that. And so then if you have a Megalomaniac, you'd use it. Testing? It works. It works. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go over here at this price check for this jewel. I can't use my... Oh, it is working now. Never mind. So these are the mods that actually matter. It's not going to be too much. Honestly, I'm surprised some people are doing 4 and 5 divs. I think you could get 3 for it because it's got nice attributes and nice lightning. But you're missing the 3rd suffix, and suffixes are so important here. It's a shame you can't roll off the leech because leech is just a dead mod on that. But yeah, I think you could get like 3 or 4 div for it. I don't think you would be able to get too much more. 3 or 4 seems good. It's nice little bits of lightning. The attributes are nice. They're a little bit low on the base because you got 24 int. If that 33 dex is very nice. But yeah, I think you could get like 3 or 4 for it. And now the Pandemonium Choker. This one is much nicer. This is an incredibly good amulet. 30% increased energy shield. I don't know what people would do for the spirit, but I think this is absolutely ridiculous for a gemling. I think this is probably like probably 30 div. Only 10? That's surprising. Or is this your own upload? Like, honestly, I think whoever's putting 10 down, I think they're underselling it. Like, the all attributes is, I mean, the all reds is a little low, but this is an incredibly nice amulet. Yeah, it's a shame that the dex is a little low, but this is very nice. Maybe not, because 30 would be like toppy top. I'd say put it on for 15, and you'll probably get 15 with that 45 spirit, the maximum energy shield if they use it. Like, I don't. Hold on. Do the gemlings use energy shield, or they just use mana? Because if it's just mana, then it'll bring the value down a bit. But if that's you at 10, if they don't use energy shield, then it'll definitely bring the value down. But if they do, then I think you got it there. You might even get 15. And if they don't, then 10 might even be a touch high, because it's just the just the suffixes and the spirit. But either way, I'd say definitely leave it at 10 and it'll probably sell. It might take a few days because less people are playing the gemlings, I think. And the Whis with this corpse, ooh, that is really high attributes. It's a shame about the 7% lightning res, but you slammed on 10 more strength. That is very nice. That one's going to be kind of hard to price check. It's about the same as having, like, honestly, the 10 strength will add some goodness to it. Oops. That was a weird misclick. Your 10 strength will definitely add some stuff to it. Same thing with having a nice little bit of evasion rating. But it's not going to be as much as another really good ring, because you're missing the third very important suffix, because suffixes are the most important here. You got all these at like 99 and 100. I think this will sell for about probably 2 div, because the mana is nice. Maybe, yeah. You got it for 100 exalt. I think you'll get more than 100 exalt for it. I think 2 div is a fair price for this. I think you'll get more than 100 exalt for it. Yeah. The mana is definitely helpful. The evasion could be good for somebody. The lightning's a little bit low, but it's still nice. It's just that lightning res kind of holds it back. But I think you'll get 1 to 2 div for it, Whis. And this one here, you're terrified of chaos damage. What? Then this is my current amulet, which I'm terrified of chaosing. Okay. I had to reread that. Yeah, don't chaos it. That thing's pretty great. It's got rarity. It's got 3 really nice attributes. It's a shame the dex is low again, but you got high all attributes, which is the most important on the amulet. It can roll stupidly high. And then you got the big strength as well. Yeah, this thing here I'd say probably worth about 5 div without even looking at my price checker yet. People like that rarity. Oh, they're even saying 10 div. It's worse than the amulet that I have, and I spent 10 on mine. But yours, I think, if that's what people are pricing it for, yeah, you'll probably get it for 10. Make your money, that's for sure. Good point on the strength, yeah. Are you going to update POB or put it in the description for the live stream? I have updated POB, kind of, sort of. I will need to update it again based on what we discovered on here, but yeah. Gabriel, I feel like I can't get more stats on 388, 304, 341. Don't know how to get more. If you don't have all attributes on your amulet, that's a big one. Do you have spaghettification anointed? Do you have big attributes on your rings? Do you have it on all pieces of your gear? Is your belt a high rank? And do you have it on corruptions on your jewels? Those are all the best ways to get it. And then after that, do you have all the increased attribute nodes? Do you have an Against the Darkness with increased attributes? Those will help you. Yeah, Jackson, that is a very, very, very nice ring. I feel like this is, honestly, yeah, I didn't even really realize that it had spaghettification. It's probably worth 15 with spaghettification already being on there. You might be underselling it for 10. Are you going to update the POB? Feel like I can't get more stats. And I'm a gemling in a lot of different builds, but mainly ES, or it's straight up strength life builds. Yeah, the strength life seems a little bit off. You use ES on it? Okay, then yeah, it might be might be able to get like 10 for it with the increased maximum energy shield. And now for this, I think I already went through this. Yeah, now it's just this last one here. Ooh, I love that. Oh, that's almost as good as it can possibly be. Like, your dex could be a touch higher. Like, I got this guy, which is nuts. Absolutely nuts. And I underpaid for it. You got the 6 to all attributes. Yeah. Before looking at my price tracker, I'm going to say like 25 div for this guy, the Golem Heart. I'm going to say like 25 div. Because all of these are important. Nothing with that good of stats. Okay, so you're better than this guy's. Yours is straight up better than ZemRD. You got it for 15 div? Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you tried to sell it, since this is 30 div and yours is just blatantly better. You could probably get like 40. That is incredibly good. Yeah. Even the mana is helpful. Like, mana got increased spell damage. It used to have a little bit of life. We rolled it on stream yesterday, and it did nothing. And there's no way I'm rolling it again, because if I did the next thing to roll, it would take off my maximum energy shield, and that is not something I'm willing to drop. So yeah, that Golem Heart, that's... yeah. That is 100% going to be your amulet until you find an Astromentus. And even then, you might even want to keep that amulet because it's so good. What's against the darkness? It's this jewel here. It can roll with a bunch of different stat ranges. I got strength and extra fire damage, and both of them at 4%. It adds a lot to the build. So, for example, I'm at 489 strength right now. When I take it off, 431. So that gives me 88 strength. Just this one jewel. 88 strength. Plus, it also gives me 16% of my damage is extra fire. So that's kind of almost like a 16% more multiplier. So that 88 strength gives me all that energy shield. It goes 87, 1. So it gives me 400 energy shield because it works with my Heroic Tragedy Jewel. And it gives me all of that weapon damage. It's so good. It's so good. There is not currently a way to check the seed number for the Heroic Tragedy, Daniel. Sorry. And yeah. That was a good stream until multi-threading decided to kill it. Story of my life. Let's see here. Can I fix it this way, maybe? I doubt it. I think it's just Streamlabs and everything has gone. So anyways, thank you guys so much for coming out. I'm going to end it here. You guys have been fantastic. Oh, there's another one to come in. Okay, one last one here. 2? Whoa, he's sending me everything. Okay, I'll do the line here with the rings. I'm not doing all of it, Sakaz. Sorry, that's way too much. This is really nice for resistances. That's fantastic for resistances, and it boosts your cold damage. It's going to do a little bit of everything for you. Help you ignite, help you freeze. Yeah, that's going to be your resistances ring. Your other ring, I'd say drop it for one with a bunch of attributes, because you're already taking care of your resistances with that breach ring. Get something with a lot more attributes and a little more flat damage, but it's going to be... I mean, that first one there is already doing it for you. This is a great breach ring for resistances and flat damage, but your unset ring, you're going to need to look to upgrade. The resistances is great again, but you should be looking to get your resistances from your other gear if you can, and scale some pretty huge attributes from your rings. And then your amulet is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It'll be hard to swap out to a Astromentus with relying on the all elemental resistances, but this is an incredible amulet. You're in a good spot. I'm going to leave the rest of it though. What are you talking about? The natural energies. Oh, you don't want a price check? You just want me to look at it? Okay. Ooh, I like those boots. Even 35 move speed. That's very nice. Yeah, double mod, everything. Armor, energy, shield. I like getting more of that, but I mean, it's the least important one to get on, so you were smart to get double attributes on there. So then you can scale your, yeah, that's looking really nice. Really, really nice. Your chest piece. Ooh, that's big energy shield too. Oh yeah, you got great gear, man. You got great gear. Yeah, I bet you're just popping everything. They appear and then they disappear. That is the level of gear that you got. The only thing I don't really like is this unset ring, but it's a big rarity ring that probably makes you feel really good in mapping getting all that currency. Alright. Keep trying, I guess, Daniel. And explain how to get natural energies. You just get it by getting the right jewel from Heroic Tragedy. Like, there's a natural energies here, but I'm not pathing all the way up and down to get it. But yeah, thank you so much, my dudes. You've been amazing. Uh, yeah, thanks for coming out to my stream, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll stream again one more time, probably with multi-threading off for the whole thing, and then we are going to hammer some citadels, and we are going to absolutely wreck the Arbiter. Alrighty. You guys have a great night. Bye-bye. Room is actually ending. I think things just crashed.